getting dicey.
I didn't quite get the cowl on properly in time.
You have to keep it like that now.
It's somehow worse than last week.
When there's nothing going wrong, I don't know how to warm you guys into the intro. So I just
did you hear Shannon corrected you? It's actually champing at the bit.
Yes. No, but it's Strahd and Strahd.
Yeah.
Someone actually said to me once that they liked espresso coffee. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's actually espresso. And they're like, no, I work at a coffee shop. It's definitely espresso. And I was like,
espresso.
Well, I guess
I ordered an espresso once at Mr. Bun, and they brought me the special. And there was this big sort of argument. I was like, oh, fine, I'll have the chicken. It's okay, fried chicken. And they're like, you asked for the espresso, a special. And it's like, no, espresso. And, and it went, yeah, it's special. It's like, okay, I'll eat it. I'll eat the chicken. So
still thirsty
so
though.
Agreeable.
Still thirsty though.
You didn't notice when you were charged like $14 for a coffee?
The conversation had already gone on for too long. By that point, I said, fine, I'll just pay like $10 for the coffee.
You're like, man, it's going to be a good coffee. They keep calling it the special.
What do you mean? Do you want like fries or chips?
Yeah. Do you want chicken salt on
okay.
No. Sure. Okay, you guys. The tower has just come down. I think the last thing that we kind of wanted to go over, I think, Bill, you wanted to sort of rummage through the pockets of some of these werewolves. And I did a lot of prep for this session, so I'm hoping, like every week, it all goes to waste.
Oh wow!
No, not because because of your guys' decision, but because of just how D&D is. Bill, you sort of after having lined these werewolves' bodies up, you've gone through some of their clothing and their pockets, and there's not really much on them. You find the 5 spears that the 5 humanoid shaped werewolves had on them, and the one that was still stuck in its hybrid form. You think you'd be able to take his hide off. You reckon you could de-skin him and it would make quite a decent hide. If you're just looking at it like, I can see that. Amongst them, they only have about a total of 10 gold pieces. But I think the most interesting thing, well, there's 2 interesting things you find. One of them has like a small child's toy on them. It's got on a little tag on it as well that says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky," written on the toy, so you know it's a Blinsky original. But it looks like it's kind of been picked at the seams a little bit, and there does seem to be a bit of blood on it. But it was so tucked away that it can't have been the werewolf's blood, so there's some sort of blood on this toy. The other thing that you notice is got some good breathing going on there.
Where is that coming from?
Did someone's microphone change or something? Not sure. Anyway, the other thing that you notice, Bill, the one that is still in its hybrid form, which was the leader of the pack, seems to have these small.
Oh my god!
Adam, what have you done with your microphone?
My whole setup is really fucked, and I think I'm gonna have to quit and rejoin. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. He was just getting into the description. He was getting into the description. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not like a werewolf.
Yeah. The other thing you notice, Bill, on the body of Kirill, down his muzzle are these like small scratches, and they look to have been made by quite small fingers as well. It's like someone has gone to scratch him across the face. They're not deep like claw marks, they look more like fingernail scratches. But apart from that,
down like the front, like his front.
down his snout, like.
Oh right. Sorry.
Yeah. And I'll say the other thing that I think Mirakin and Morley, having sort of just walked around the area where that wagon exploded, there is a few small bits and pieces that you find that all seem possibly not overly usable. You find the head of a battle axe, just the head of a morning star. You find the tips of what would have been maybe 10 silvered crossbow bolts, but it's just the tips, not the sticks, not the actual bolts itself. And you find a slightly melted, but still in good tact, a golden holy symbol of the Morning Lord.
Ooh, holy symbol.
Yeah.
Take that.
Bill's a big proponent of the Morning Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's a new convert.
Yep. I'll take that one, if you don't mind. I'm not really sure about this. I think you could probably get this werewolf pelt off, but it's not really my forte. If American, if it's something that interests you, or anybody else, feel free. I not really that into it. It's the kind of thing. It's the kind of thing Loris would love.
I wouldn't really normally have thought of it, but the DM mentioned it, so now I kind of want it.
American, you're looking at the size of Kirill. This is the one that you'd be looking at the pelt of, and you kind of think if you had two of these, you'd probably make a pretty decent blanket out of it.
Oh, kind of want a blanket made out of this big boy. I'm just going to get my dagger out and just go for it.
Okay, all right. I wasn't expecting that. But
I just want it now because you said it exists.
Give me a survival.
What happened while I was away? American's character's done a complete 180.
I mentioned that Bill noticed that if he was to skin the hybrid werewolf, it would probably have a pretty decent pelt on it. And now American is like, yeah. So give me a survival roll.
I'm a survivalist by nature, actually.
Well, then you should be able to give me a very good survival roll.
I've rolled a 16 plus 6 for a total of 22.
Whoa.
Perfect. You I can't believe I'm saying this, but you managed to sort of you leave the head alone because the head had a lot of that necrotic damage to it thanks to the spell from Baron, but you managed to slice around its neck and take down the stomach of this thing and hack away for 5 minutes as you separate the pelt from his body.
It's like Red Dead Redemption where he just does it in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And someone knows what I mean.
And so you've got yourself a werewolf pelt at this point.
Look what I could get.
It looks very warm. And I wouldn't say cozy, but very, very warm. Yes.
It's still a little bit sticky.
Yeah, it is still dripping with blood for sure.
I'm going to just put it on the wagon.
Yeah, you walk down to the wagon and it's sort of attach it to the side of the wagon, bloody side out, so you can help it ride off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think as you walk away from the group of werewolves, you just look over at the unconscious one that's next to Esmerelda.
I'm like, do you want a king-size blanket? Hope he struggles.
He won't need it. Just wake him up when he wakes up.
Wake
He's
him
got
up with no skin.
What happened to my skin? Just remain calm. It'll grow back. Just don't roll around.
No one bring any salt over here, please. Just no salt. What is the plan, gang?
All right.
Plan.
Well, we must need to make a hard decision with our captee. before we move on, right? We can't be having this freak join the crew for a walk to Krezk.
There's that werewolf hate from Morley again. Jeez, really.
Yeah, why would I hate werewolves? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, what a unrational.
Harsh words calling him a freak.
Yeah.
Really cheeky freak of the week.
So your kind of options, at this point is long rest, head to Krezk, or something else.
What should we?
Can we grab all the spears and put them in our cart as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 5 spears.
How many?
There's
Five.
5
I want-
spears.
yeah.
5 spears.
In fact, there's probably a 6th one thanks to the captive having dropped his as well. So I'd say there's 6 spears total.
Okay.
And 10 silvered arrows, right?
Just the
Crossbow
tips,
bolts.
just the
Just the
tips of the
you.
silvered crossbow bolts.
And we've got the heads of 2 weapons.
Yeah, are they silvered?
5.
No, they don't seem to be silvered.
Oh,
Okay.
Do they look good?
They look a little bit like. I mean, like they're fine. They could be refashioned if you could get them attached to something for sure. But they're just your standard battle axe and Morning Star, just the heads of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like I should pick up these silvered crossbow bolts, right? If I've got a crossbow.
Well, it's just the heads. It's just the heads. But if you could fashion them to
just the tip.
just the tip.
Oh, we'll just
Yeah.
just screw them on.
Yeah.
They'll be threaded, right?
Like in Rainbow 2.
100%.
Application.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean's cool. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say, unlike your other selection of bolts, which is, for all intents and purposes, unlimited, you now have 10, and only 10, silvered crossbow bolts.
One for each of Strahd's. What is he?
Fingers.
Yeah. One for each of his fingers. That'll show him. Considering I couldn't hit a barn door with a fucking
He's like-
banjo.
he's like-
I'll be hitting a finger.
He puts his hands up. Stop! Morley, stop! Just one for each of his
Bang,
fingers.
bang, bang.
Yeah.
Right, I'll add that to my equipment. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. What a sad guy. These are Esmeraldas, aren't they?
They are.
We just kind of like blew
Yeah.
up her stuff and was like, oh, I'll sit
Sorry.
down now.
Sorry.
She's standing right there.
Oh, I picked up your crossbow bolts, Esmeralda.
It's all right, Morley. You can keep them. It's fine. It's fine.
Wow, that's very generous of you. Thank you very much. And stupid, I might add. You've seen my aim.
Well, it's just I don't really have a crossbow anymore anyway, so it's fine.
True that.
Okay, so shall we question this fiend, this wolfish fellow?
Yeah.
I'll slap him awake. Quick, smart.
Well,
Show
you
him
do,
the
you do that.
Show him the pelt.
Yeah, you just what do you do? Just like deliver a nice right-handed slap across the.
I'm not going to be slapping him hard. I'm going to do the thing where you like pat on the cheek forcefully.
Yeah. Okay. And he his eyes slowly open and he sort of as he looks and sees you above him, and he realizes that he's all tied up.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. He just grunts. He just sort of grunts in your direction.
Yes, we, the good guys, have spared your life. You are welcome. Would you like to have a chat?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Okay, good.
This is already going very
This
well.
is very, very well. Well, what do you want?
What do we want? Well, what's your relationship to Strahd? Tell us everything.
Yeah.
He rolls his eyes. It's not me that has the relationship with Strahd. That was Kirill. Kirill had the relationship with Strahd.
And what was Kieran's relationship to Strahd? Come on, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
This is a long story. So I'll try and
I've got time.
I'll truncate it a little bit. This bound werewolf in front of you tells you a story about how his werewolf pack has been very split on how they should be growing their werewolf pack. There was one werewolf who believed that they should steal a bunch of children, turn them into werewolves, and grow their pack immensely. Then there was Kirill, who had a slightly different approach. He wanted to steal plenty of children, but instead of turning all of them, make them fight to the death. And whichever one remained would become or would be turned into a werewolf and join the pack. Therefore, growing the pack slower but stronger. Now, there was a bit of an upset with between these two and how this should be done, and Kirill managed to trick the other one into heading to Ravenloft, where Strahd killed, or supposedly. No one's seen the other one since, so they can only assume that he's being killed. And then Kirill has kind of, ever since that point, had some sort of relationship with Strahd. It's never been fully revealed of what that relationship is, but if Strahd needs anything, Kirill will do his bidding.
Well, not any fucking more he would, will he? Because he's dead.
What kind of monster forces children to fight to the death? Is that what this is? And I'm gonna hold up the toy that we found on the bodies.
Which one of the useless skags had that?
I think it was Kirill, wasn't it?
It was on one of the bodies. It wasn't on Kirill.
Oh, but Kirill had scratches on his face. Childlike scratches?
Small scratches.
Yeah, small scratches.
Anyone who harms a child is the scum of the earth.
And tell me, whose side were you on? I mean, it's good to know that you all agreed that you should kidnap children.
Like lots of
children. You
children.
want to be pro-murder or pro-turning?
I just wanted to survive. I know that going against Kirill would mean death for me after what happened to Emil. Who was the one that disappeared?
Emil.
Right.
So you were just following orders, is that it?
Yeah. That's right.
Is this a usual sort of... Is this a usual strategy for werewolves? I'm trying to work out how evil you guys actually are.
Are you asking him that?
Yeah.
You're so collected.
I only know our pack. So I don't know what other packs are like.
But in your pack, this is a totally fine way to behave.
Ideally, no, we wouldn't kill all but one of the children. We would turn them all into fighters for us.
Oh, so you are on the side of turning them all into fighters.
Well, now that Kirill's gone, things are going to change, surely.
Well, yeah, because you're all dead.
A handful of us are dead.
How many werewolves are there?
I'm not giving you our numbers. I told you survival is what we're all about.
Oh, that sounds like a real commercially sensitive piece of information, doesn't it? How many of yous there are. Actually, he's mentioned his pack a couple of times, but I notice I wonder if there are other packs of werewolves just like stalking Barovia. Maybe we should try and get like that out of.
It's lousy with werewolves.
Hey, how many packs are there in Barovia, by your estimate? How many werewolf packs?
I've ventured most of the shadows of Barovia, and there's only the one that I've come across. Just ours.
Would they have a cool name?
I don't need to take that kind of lip from you.
Right, should we kill him?
Well,
He sounds evil.
You said before that you couldn't tell us how many there are, but I do know that there's about to be one less if you don't tell us right now.
Tell you what right now?
How many there are of them?
Oh, right. Shit.
Yeah.
I need to... Yep. Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
Not intimidation?
Or intimidation.
I think it's the same. I think it's actually worse for me. Yeah, it's
No.
much worse, but it's okay.
Definitely intimidation.
I feel like the feeling was more intimidating.
Can I point at the pelt while he does that?
Yes, sure. You can sort of
Do
like
a help action
throw a thumb over to the wagon as he like sees
Yeah.
this skin hanging
and
up.
just hold up my bloody dagger and be like, yeah.
Give us another intimidation roll then, please.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
It's
much.
a 21 total.
Yeah,
Great work,
that's
Harrison.
much better. So with a roll of a 21, sort of you threaten him. You say there's going to be one less if you don't tell us exactly how many there are. And he looks over at the wagon and sees the werewolf pelt hanging on the wagon. Looks over at Mirakin, who's got the bloody knife, and just says, "Fine. There's hundreds. You think you've taken care of just some of us? You think you've got the upper hand? You're not gonna last long in Barovia."
Hundreds. Seems high.
Give me
I was hoping he'd say 3.
give me an inside check. Did I say
inside
Did I say
check.
inside or insight? I want an inside
You
check.
said inside check.
Check what he's like on
I
the
already did that on the
inside.
other werewolf.
All right, I'm gonna check. Yeah.
Give me an insight. Sorry,
Nice.
yeah. Morley.
Who's doing this? Oh, me.
Morley, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. That's a 2. Plus.
Plus one.
Plus
Very
1.
good.
You're not reading anything on him at this point. He's saying hundreds. It sounds like there's hundreds.
Well, on the one hand, he probably wants to scare us, but on the other hand, why would he lie? Other than to scare us.
That's a very good point.
A few moments ago, you were pleading for your life. Sorry, what's your name?
I like how
Well,
friendly
I'm so rude. I didn't ask you.
There's just
name.
like
No, I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Sorry, where are my manners?
Well, they're the
I'm
rude
Aaron,
ones.
this is Tracy.
These werewolves are really rude.
the amount of intimidation and like threats and questioning, and then just like Baron with his like colourful coat sort of just pops his head in and just says, "Wait a minute, what's your name?" And he's a little confused, and he looks over to you and just sort of says, "The name's Jan." Not every name is a joke. Not every name is a joke. This is just a name. His name is Jan.
It's not just any old name.
Okay,
If
so
he was a werecat, that would be really
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was thinking.
So
It's like,
I specifically
name.
just took the name John and gave him an H and just turned it into a soft J. Jan.
okay.
I like
Yep.
it.
Yawn from South Africa.
Darn.
Can we just like huddle off to the side and be like, well, when he pleaded for his life, I felt really guilty, like we should spare him. But now he's being really rude and menacing, and I don't want to feel like the bad guy. But I do feel like he's going to go and try and bite children. I don't want him to bite all the children.
Yeah, that children thing was a bit weird.
I'm going to go run amok in an orphanage and try to make 100 more werewolves.
I'll if you want me to, I'll be the one to
Get bitten.
deal the final blow. I think
do
we
you
owe
say?
it to the children of Barovia. He doesn't seem... He's showing no remorse.
That's
He's
true.
he's wished us death, essentially, by saying that we're in trouble and there are hundreds of wolves out there and that we haven't made an impact at all. He's pure evil.
I'm just telling you the facts. I don't want to die.
We're over here.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm just going to point out to Jan that he was very pleading for his life just a few moments ago, and now, look, Jan, now you're being a jerk. You're not repentant at all.
It's not helping his case.
I'm giving you everything I've got. I don't know what is it. Just
No, you're not. You wouldn't even tell us how many werewolves there were a moment ago.
Not at first, but you got it, didn't you?
Yeah, only because we threatened you.
You know, I've got a phone book. We could hold up and punch it through the...
Was that the trick?
Yeah, so it doesn't leave a first mark.
Ah,
That's
just
what
leaves a
cop movies they do.
yeah, just leaves like an advertisement or something.
Printed
Not
I do not open it to a random one of the yellow pages.
Massage parlor. Well, yeah. What do you reckon, Bill?
I'm just gonna gather everyone in so that he definitely can't hear.
Okay.
He's got those big ears though. Eh?
He's in human form.
Goddamn hearing. Goddamn hearing.
I heard that.
Yep. Yeah.
You up for it, Molly?
I'll put a crossbow bolt between his eyes if I have to, if it's for the good of the children of Barovia. I won't feel good about it, but I'll do it.
It doesn't seem open to repentance, that's for certain.
Well, how about we ask him?
I agree.
Let's try and guilt trip him with that doll one more time, and if he shows any concern or regret for the children he has harmed, I'll give him a second chance.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I say that in a whisper because of his hearing.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold up the doll in his face, and
So
I'm just going to be like, do you harbor any remorse for the children's lives you plan to ruin?
What do you mean, ruin? We're giving them an extra chance. We're giving them powers. You've seen what we can do.
Yeah, we did. Wasn't that great?
I mean, don't judge all of us on the ones you've killed.
There's only one left, and he pleaded for his life.
Just the pack leader.
One of the pack. It's not exactly it's not like a waterfall hierarchy.
Or an Elon Musk style flat management
Or
structure.
like a pyramid scheme. Well, hold on.
What you're saying is your model is the trapezoid.
Oh god, the cops!
Do any of these children have a choice? Like, are they like, yes, I want to be a werewolf? Or are they like, no, please don't bite me, I want to go home?
He goes quiet at that
He's not
point.
going to tell us that, Baron. Well, that's like, do you remember the pie lady? Do you think those kids had a choice? Do you think she was going around going, who wants to be made into a pie? And kids were going, oh, me, I'll be mince and cheese. No.
No. Well, I'll agree on that front. But I was just thinking, does this guy have any remorse? Were you a child, Jan, when you were bitten?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Oh, God. Can we do like an insight check together? Like, we're both staring into one eye each. We're eyeballing him on each side.
I'm going to roll like
Can you make
for
up?
each eye.
Can you make up like 45 years of backstory for this random NPC on the fly?
I can.
He's on the spot.
I can.
But also, don't make us the bad guys.
Where did he graduate?
Can I do an insight check?
Yes,
Do I
you
have to
can.
roll?
You can do an insight check, Joe.
Okay. Because me and Baron are both trying to find out intently, so I want to roll with advantage if possible.
Okay, yep, sure.
Okay.
Okay, you've got
roll
very
16 plus 3.
very good insight. He Jan rests his head back down on the ground, and he says,
Good boy.
I remember when I got turned like it was yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, it was when I was a child.
Yes. But you remember it like it was yesterday.
I remember it like it was yesterday. The power that flowed through me after that bite. I wouldn't give that up for anything. The
Oh, you wouldn't?
frail,
You think it was good?
the frail human that I was, just drifted away.
You're on 1 HP, mate. I wouldn't be big enough
What?
to do that.
Yeah. Okay, but what did you lose? Didn't you lose your humanity? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. What I gained was a family, a real pack of werewolves. I don't know.
Literal, isn't it?
He's very literal. He's very literal.
That's deep. Deep down.
Oh, shit.
Well, you've swung me around. I want to be a vampire werewolf now.
Sign me up.
God.
So you lose your humanity, but you gain a pack of werewolves.
Yeah. Okay, answer me this. If we did let you go, Jan, would you maybe lay low? Because we're planning on like taking out Strahd, right? You know, I know someone in this pack, our pack here, who's gonna pull out his fangs.
With Kirill gone, I don't think you'll have many werewolves upset about the ending of Strahd.
But just to be clear, you're still going to be going around fighting people and turning them into werewolves,
That's the sticking
aren't
point.
you?
What do you need more werewolves for? You got enough?
I feel like
100.
Have you seen what roams these lands? We need
You,
to look after
your kind.
ourselves as much as anyone else.
I want to say, honestly, I feel like you dodged the question re becoming a werewolf. You only described the power you found afterwards, but not the trauma before. And I feel like that was a little convenient. Were you a scared, frightened boy kidnapped from your real family, perchance? Or is that something you prefer to omit?
The children of Barovia. That bark was perfectly timed.
You got him.
Emotional trauma awakening.
It was him stifling a
Child.
sob.
Back when he was a pup. We're pups.
The children of Barovia live horrific lives locked away in fear of Strahd. And we take these children and we give them power to fight and survive.
Again, I feel like you dodged the question. Do you not remember what it was like before your turning?
What does it matter? What matters is how I feel now.
Okay, he's dead to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Children aren't safe with this guy around.
And yeah, that is a good point. All right. Any last words? Jan?
So you're just gonna kill me?
I would have chosen differently, but okay.
He just rolls and solves 11. Can you? I mean, you get advantage. He's literally tied up.
You can't miss.
That is a hit. An 11, while in humanoid form, is a hit. So that's... How do you just tell me how you end him?
The sunblade shoots out, and then I say something cool like, "I'll see you in hell." From heaven.
From heaven.
From heaven. With the little hell
We
looking
are the
glass.
good guys.
And then I just bring the sunblade across his head. Just one swift, like a painless killing.
Across his head, just above his nose.
Just through here.
The neck.
Okay.
I cut his head off.
Okay. And Irina just sort of like looks away with a... Oh. And you now have another dead werewolf. But he's in human form still.
Yeah.
We did the right thing. I know it felt hard, but he gave us nothing useful. He would have come back to haunt us or others. He would have been out there on the prowl,
It's a real
back
shame.
with his pack.
It sounds
Yes,
like
he was a menace.
it sounds like there's quite a few of them. They're going to be
Hundreds.
back. They're going to be back.
Well, they'll meet my blade when they do come back. And yours.
Except
Hers
that
is broken.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to bring that up.
we'll get that fixed.
I forgot about that.
That one's broken.
I don't know about you lot, but I could really use a kip. I'm fucking exhausted. Can we maybe get on the road and try to get some shut eye in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Where to?
at this point in time, it is about 5 o'clock in the evening.
How far away is Krezk?
I can give you that information if I
They
think
said it
it's-
was like an hour.
Yeah. So let's have another.
We need to get on the road before nightfall. Don't want to encounter more yarns.
Yeah.
From where you are, it's probably going to be about an hour 15 to get from here.
Okay.
So you'd be
Blast
at
k's per hour.
Krezk before 6:30 for sure.
Esmerelda, will you accompany us to Krezk?
I've been thinking about that actually. There's something else I need to check up on, if that's all right with you lot.
You'd better not be running off to try and kill Strahd by yourself again.
No. I'm there's with all my gear gone, that'd be stupid. And with this broken sword, there's not much I'm going to be able to do to him anyway. So no, I can wait for you. But I had heard of there's a mansion nearby Vallaki that I needed to check out.
A mansion?
Mansion.
Munchkin. Munchkin.
A small munchkin. A mansion. There's a
Go check out a munchkin.
What's a munchin? I'm interested.
Ooh, luncheon? I am hungry.
Baroness, do you have the sort of magic that can mend that sword?
I think I do. Hold on. Let's just see if it is prepared. No. But after a long rest, I could.
Oh.
Okay.
Is
we
it
go.
magic?
Brian will fix
sword?
it right up.
Is it a magic sword? It's just a silvered short sword.
Oh, I can fix that. Yeah.
Oh, you can fix that.
Yep.
Now, but you don't have it
After 8 hours.
Like still-
after the sleep.
still after that long rest, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll just double check. I don't think it's a magical sword, but no, it is just a silvered short sword. She says, "Well, why don't you head off to Krezk and we can meet up at the mansion when you're done?"
Where's the munchin?
Do you have? Let's see what happens if we bring you guys onto the map again.
Also, is Esmeralda looking badly wounded? I can't remember.
I just moved away from her hit points. I'll tell you soon. So if you take a look at the map, where are we? Head to sort of where Vallaki was. There's a bridge to the west of Vallaki. She's sort of like, she's talking as she traces her finger down the map. She says, "It's somewhere southwest of Vallaki." And she points to this point on the map here, where there's like a path leading south out of Svelich Woods.
Okay.
I'd
What's there? What are you
heard,
going to check out?
well, I'd heard rumours of that the mansion was once home to a silver dragon and a group who he controlled who completely detested Strahd. I'm hoping to find some like-minded people or some clues as to where they might be.
Sounds good.
promising, yeah.
More allies.
Well, yeah. A silver dragon's nice, or
Okay, well, Ismark hears you sort of both hears mention of Silver Dragon from both you and from Esmerelda now, and he sort of walks hurriedly over to you, and says, Lord Argynvost. Are you talking about Lord Argynvost, sorry. And he just gets like a sort of a strange look from Esmerelda and a shrug. There's stories of Lord Argynvost was a silver dragon who took the form of a human noble and went to war with Strahd. This was before Strahd was a vampire, but still living here in Barovia. So it's a tale almost as old as time. It did end with the Lord Argynvost being killed and cut into pieces, the meat stripped from the bone and the skull taken and homed within Ravenloft.
Like some macabre trophy of his victory.
I feel like I dreamed about that. Am I crazy?
You dreamed of Lord Argynvost?
I don't know. I'm a little bit psychic.
But, sorry, what's her name? The one we're talking to now.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Yeah.
Yes,
Esmeralda.
I did dream of it. It's in my book.
What did you dream of?
I dreamed of a nobleman turned into a silver dragon. He was killed and cut into pieces. And I saw as his head slowly rotted away, leaving nothing but a skull. It was in my dream. My dream. Felt a bit psychic, so I wrote it down.
It's really psychic.
That's amazing. Did you dream anything else? Any undead knights of his?
No. Nothing useful. Yet.
Oh, so you weren't going to the mansion to find the dragon. You were going to find someone else that still lives there? Or?
Well, I didn't know of this until now. I didn't know that he had been killed, or if
Apparently.
there are still followers of his at the mansion, or if there are clues I could find for their whereabouts. And as Mark pipes up, he did have quite a few followers, some very, very passionate followers, actually. Their stories continue. They talk of one of his Argynvost's greatest knights. He was also killed, but returned as something undead and driven to destroy Strahd and his men.
That sounds cool.
Wow. Esmeralda, how do you know of how many factions are out there that are plotting Strahd's downfall? It seems like we need to unite all these factions for a combined walloping.
That's exactly what I've been trying to say, Morley. That is fantastic. I came here purely to look for people to help me with my cause. I found you, and now I'm looking for more clues at Argynvost's mansion, and if you know of others, absolutely.
Well, we found you technically, but I'm not here to argue the toss. So, have you successfully managed to recruit anyone else to the cause, or will this be your first attempt?
I haven't been in Barovia long, Morley, so no, this will be my first attempt.
What? You haven't been in Barovia long?
Yes. Didn't we go through this?
Oh, yes, you went. You told. Sorry, I'm just so surprised every time I hear it. We were brought here by the mists, but.
Yeah, I can come and go as I please.
So you must be on good terms with Madame Ava.
Bum bum bum.
I've only heard of Madame Ava. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting.
What? You should go and see her. You should go and get a reading. We got a reading, didn't we? We all got a reading.
Uh-huh.
They told us about our past and, more chillingly, about our future.
Yeah, it was fun.
I know who you should recruit. Periwinkle. There's a really big, muscly guy who works at the dairy in Barovia, and he is. Madame Ava said that he would be helpful, but his uncle wouldn't let us recruit him.
Where was Periwinkle?
At the dairy in Barovia.
The overpriced one.
Yeah.
I like how we're like, these werewolves are monsters for recruiting children to their cause. But can you go get that mentally deficient young man and recruit him into our cause?
He's already powerful, though. Like, if we bite him, nothing will happen.
You'll give him the power of man if you give him a bite.
Yeah. We should have bitten that werewolf. Yeah, true.
Well, I think Esmerelda might have more luck than we had because it was Bill and I, and as I recall, it was a bit of a Keystone Cops sort of a moment. But then the glamorous Esmerelda walks in, and old man, whatever his name is,
Baldrick.
Well, the guy that sounds like Baldrick, that's right. He will, he'll be absolutely
putty in her hands.
He'll be bewitched.
I tell you what, Morley, that's a deal. I'll go down and see what I can do.
You're getting quite the errands list now, aren't you? You'll be getting down to the village of Barovia to see Periwinkle, and then you'll be at the mansion to see if there are any followers you can round up.
We're going to have an army.
Yeah.
Is it what I might do? Sorry to just change plans quickly on you and like this, but I do want to make sure I've got my sword before I travel too far around Barovia. So if we could meet up at the mansion, you can hopefully by that point fix my sword, and then I can go across the lands and see if I can find Mr. Wimple.
Good.
How can we make sure? Oh, actually, this is out of character.
Okay.
How can we make sure that Esmeralda? Because I think she's still in a reasonably weakened state, and Strahd is actively out to get her, and we kind of want to make sure that she's okay. How can we make sure, or give her the best chance of being safe while she kind of does her errands, and then before we meet up again?
I mean, at this point, she's only kind of semi-damaged. If I guess her plans, my plans are basically get to this mansion, rest up, and see if I can find any clues while I'm there.
Well, will you take my short sword, my regular short sword? I know it's not the same caliber as your silvered, but it might be good to have on you.
Thank you, Morley. Yes, that would be fantastic. Are you going to be all right without it?
I've got something much better than that now, and I pet the hilt. I pet my hilt.
And worst comes to worst, I can still use this silvered short sword as a dagger if they get too close.
That's right.
Wait, we can't. I thought we were going to fix it and bring it back, but we're going to go see her and then fix it. Okay, that also works.
And unless you guys had other plans?
I mean,
no, it's fine.
What's the deal with mend? It doesn't have to have been like recently done, eh? It can just, as long as you've got all the pieces, it can just be done. Yeah, no, that's cool.
I might be lying to her.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out in like 2 or 3 sessions, I guess.
Shade. Right. Should we blast it up to Krezk, a secure room to stay in immediately, and get our long rest and level up, and then we can go on with our adventures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to start piling corpses on top of the
His favourite activity.
on top of the wagon.
So yeah, which corpses are you taking with?
The ones I've piled up there, the skeletons. Oh, not the skeletons yet. Of all the dead werewolves.
One is looking very skeletal at the moment with his skin no longer on him, so that's definitely going to help.
Halfway there.
So you've got 5 of your normal skeletons. then you've got 7 dead werewolves, one without a skin.
You should get the one without skin. He can be a special zombie with no skin.
And are you just going to take all of
that
them?
would be pretty cool. I'm going to take all of them, yes.
Okay, things are going to get very...
Can we fit them?
They can carry them. The skeletons can carry them if they want to.
Right. That won't look suspicious at all as we rock up to the holy monastery.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because you've got 2 of you on the cart with the... This is my favourite part, when we talk about who's on which
I
wagon.
might only take 5. I'll take 5. How about
Okay.
yeah,
So
although 7 would be better if they fit.
there's 2 of you on the wagon. There's 3 of you that can fit across the front of the other carriage with the hard top. That's Ismark's carriage. And then 4 of you can fit on the inside. So anyone else needs to be either strapped to the top or carried by a skeleton. But I think the skeletons might have to walk.
Yeah, they're good at work. They don't get tired.
I will let you bundle like 6 of the 7 just onto the roof of the carriage.
Oh my gosh, we're going to look so suspicious.
Yep.
That's fine.
Is it fine, Brian? Makes us look like psychopaths.
Well, remember I hid them when we went to Vallaki because I didn't want anyone freaking out. And they can stay outside, potentially.
Well, we will be outing ourselves of persons of interest immediately. We will have to try and sell this as, we are heroes.
No, I just won't show them.
They're strapped to the top.
Wait. Why don't we
Bundled, right?
Why don't we get all the way to Krezk, and then
Yeah.
when we're about a kilometer from the entrance, we take all of the skeletons, all of the corpses, bundle them all inside, and then we just make our way. We'll walk by the side of the wagon, walk in. We say we're weary travelers. We're merchants. We're merchants from another town.
Yeah.
And we'd love to just settle in for the evening and don't fucking look in the cart, whatever you do.
Skeleton salesman or
What
something.
if they
Yeah,
ask
that's a
to
great
move
idea.
Our wares. Okay. We put the pelt on top and say we're selling pelts. We're humble pelt salespeople.
Yeah, and we
You took the
killed
body. You took the
werewolves.
pelt off the body of one. It's not going to cover over 6.
It's not working.
No. We'll just put the pelt on top, and then everything else on the inside, and then we come in and we say, that's just a sample. Wait till you see the quality pelts we've got to offer at the pop-up store in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, they're a bit stinky at the moment. It's because we haven't tanned them yet.
Yeah. Or maybe they're mid-tanning and don't go in there because there's toxic fumes.
yes.
Go in where? What was happening? Where is it?
The wagon. Don't go in the
Don't
wagon.
go in the wagon.
All right, so
inside a wagon.
All right, so you're basically
Portable
just
tanning.
filling the carriage from roof to floor with bodies, putting the hide on top as an example of your wares, and then the rest of you are all just walking outside the carriage.
Brian.
Once we get in within a
Once we
kilometer,
get within 1 mile.
Okay.
Right. And the skeletons are going to be just walking alongside you as well.
No, the skeletons are on the inside as well.
You bundle
Right,
all
well,
of
if
them
they fit,
top to tail.
There's only
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
we can
that's-
spec them in there like wood.
11 people, basically. Yeah, 11
Across
people-sized
2 wagons.
people. Oh, the other wagon has barrels of wine on it and has open top, so there's nothing you can do with
Well,
that
we
one.
meant to be. Were we meant to be delivering that?
This is
The wine.
this is the
Oh, that's our
delivery.
inn.
This is the delivery of wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our end to Krezk.
Yeah. Well,
Is it on the way?
That's where you're going. That's,
Oh, wait, we're delivering it to Chris. Sorry, I
Yes.
thought we were delivering it to the wine people. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
They'll be stoked.
Look,
delivering it to the wine people.
Yeah.
Here you go.
the wine you
It's
make.
been a long time.
Imagine we got that confused along the way. Here's some wine.
Here's the pelts you ordered.
Like, we make it.
Gave that to you, you idiot.
That's our wagon. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's been a long day.
yeah, it's been a long day. Let's just go to Krezk and figure out this.
All right.
Like,
We go to
who
Krezk,
stacks what later.
hide the stash of bodies and skeletons, and then we say that we're delivering wine and maybe like Oh, we're delivering the wine as part of our kind of pelt trade as well.
Out route.
Like how a locksmith always for some reason does like keys and shoe repairs.
Yes.
We do like pelts and wine.
Pelts and wine.
It's
And
called
skeletons.
synergy. Look it up, monks.
You know, I can turn them into skeletons now, but I just like to do it near midnight.
Right. That's
Cool.
That's not spooky at all. Jesus.
Brian, your hobby is getting out of control.
I could bury them somewhere
I can help with
on
that.
the way.
I'll
Oh,
mold
yeah,
all
yeah.
the earth you need.
Why are you,
Minecraft them.
you're going to bury them?
We should bury them.
So we're going to come back.
We should bury them, and then Baron, you should rise them from the dead in a terrifying spectacle, and they'll
From
like
your grave.
emerge from the earth, and it'll look fucking sick.
Fuck yeah.
And
Okay,
I,
well, let's
and
do
I
that
will
within
dance
a
the
mile.
thriller.
And you'll-
Yes. Yeah, you can be at the front doing the ding 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 ding.
Oh man, if only I'd been bit.
Oh,
John's like running back to one of the werewolves and is like pushing his jaws down.
Scraping.
Come on.
Some saliva. Yeah, let's do that within a mile. We'll see. Some
Okay.
probably won't even get that far.
We'll get back to you guys when you're a mile from Krezk.
Oh, traveling in D&D is so hard.
I know.
Which
it's
is
great. I love it.
Okay.
The logistics.
You all jump into the wagons, the skeletons walking alongside, all of the bodies piled on top for now. And Esmerelda is kind of like walking alongside the carriage with you until you reach one of the forks in Svalich Woods. And she gives you a wave and heads south through the woods. You lot continue west, coming across to a fork in the road that you recognize thanks to having gone down to the west towards the winery before, and you make your way across a bridge. This entire time, Ismark is still regaling you about tales of this Argynvost. It's going to be a name.
Argynvost.
Argynvost. And he sort of gets back onto the story of this one of Argynvost's strongest warriors that also perished, but then came back as this undead creature. And he says his zeal was so great that it also managed to bring back the spirits of several other knights who rose as revenants under his command.
Oh, sounds a little bit like you, Brian.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
They managed to kill so many of Strahd's soldiers, again, before he was a vampire. But each time they were cut down, their souls managed to find corpses to inhabit, and they returned to battle.
Of course.
No,
Right, yeah.
the weird thing, Morley, is this was before Strahd was a vampire, before the thing keeping souls within Barovia. Back then, souls were free to come and go, but these spirits were so full of vengeance that they hunted down corpses to inhabit so they could get back to the battlefield purely to cut down Strahd's soldiers.
So Strahd was a real jerk even back then.
That's what the stories say, yes. These
He was
Just
a
steal his
real jerk.
brother's girl as well. So
Yeah.
these
No,
this
hang on a minute.
war was, by the books, says it was waged for months and months, and
The
hundreds
many months war.
of hundreds of Strahd soldiers dropped. When Strahd did die and become a vampire, the knights should have been able to pass on into their everlasting rest, but their spirits could now no longer leave thanks to Strahd's curse.
They're trapped in the bubble.
Ooh. How many knights were there? And
The stories don't say, but it does mention how they then traveled to Castle Ravenloft, and they were confronted by a Vistani seer. Some say was Madame Ava, but that can't be right. That would make her hundreds of years old.
is she immortal? Is there stories of her being immortal? How old does she say she is?
I don't know if anyone's
21.
asked. Oh, you don't look a day over 21.
Wait, what did Madame Ava do?
If you were to believe it was Madame Ava, this Vistani seer stopped these knights on their march to Ravenloft, and told them about how Strahd had died, and only to become a prisoner in his own land, tormented by the death of his beloved and the murder of his brother. After receiving,
they were bang on.
She told them.
That's what she told them. They, after receiving that news that Strahd was as stuck there as they were, the knight and his soldiers ceased his advance and led the knights back to Argynvost, the mansion. He realized that Strahd had already died and been damned to a hell of his own creation. While with no one else to go and nothing else to do, this knight and his knights set to killing Strahd's agents and anyone who might help to ease Strahd's torments.
So do they travel the land?
I'm not sure if they've been seen. It's just the stories we have to go of.
Just hang out in the mansion.
Possibly.
Well, sounds like they could be allies.
Maybe, but maybe not. They took out people that would, they would murder anyone who might help to ease Strahd's torment. So, if you're trying to kill Strahd, they might not take that very well.
That counts, does it? As curse.
If Strahd ceases to exist, then Strahd will no longer have torment.
So in a way, they are trying to keep him as a vampire so his suffering is forever.
While also, killing his soldiers to make that torment worse.
But isn't ending the curse bigger than all of that?
I agree, Morley. And should we meet this night, then that is going to be one hell of a conversation.
Yes, it will be a real humdinger.
Oh, I'm sure it won't come up again.
And that's the end of that. We're going to
get it to Krezk.
And that's the end of that entire trail of conversation. When do you get to Krezk? So that conversation with Ismark sort of continues through the majority of the Svellich Woods. Now, this entire journey, you have felt the eyes of what feels like dozens, if not hundreds, of eyes within the woods, all looking out at you. You swear that you've seen shapes of wolves and the snarling and growling of wolves the entire journey.
I thought you were going to say Ewoks, but that's much worse.
What is it? Jub Jub. Is that what they say? Cool. You get to a point where the woods slowly starts to open up, and further down that path, maybe a mile away from where you currently are, you see just a wall of mist, just blocking off the path that you're on. Sort of continues down, opens up a little on the right, then closes back off either side by the woods, and then just a big wall of mist engulfs that path that you're on. Also, about a mile away is Krezk. So, what do we... Tell me what we're doing with your wine and pelts wagon emporium.
Can we stuff them into... Will they all fit into the wagon?
Sure. You can fit them all into that wagon.
We're broken in spirit. Sure, they all fit. Yeah.
And we can stack them, on top of each other. Yeah.
I was
Skeletons.
1, 2,
a little
3, 4,
unclear.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can fit them in.
All right.
It'll be a heavy wagon, but we can fit them.
It would be a heavy wagon.
I'm a little unclear. Are you saying the mist is blocking the path of where we intend to go?
No, about a mile up the road, the path sort of fades off into mist.
Oh, okay.
It's very reminiscent of the mist that you found yourself coming out of days ago.
I think Morley would just spend a moment staring into the mists to see if there was anything he could see. Like, I know it's a mile off, but also kind of having a weird moment of like, oh, that's right, I had a life outside of these mists and outside of Barovia. Like, I wouldn't mind getting back to that at some point. Just kind of a quiet moment of contemplation.
Yeah, nice. You don't see some of the visions that you've seen in other parts of that mist. It is just a thick wall of mist. And the trees either side of the path basically disappear merely feet into that mist.
One day I'd like to get out of here.
Yeah.
Profound. He's a deep thinker.
Sometimes it's just that simple.
Ismark turns to you, Morley, and says, Morley, what is on the other side of that mist?
Oh my God, man. Just occurred to me that you won't know of the wide world outside of here. It's a story far too long to tell you, my friend, but one day I hope you can see with your own eyes what is on the other side, because there's great sorrow, yes, like here, but also much joy and happiness, and many, many people that you can befriend.
And Irina sort of looks at you and smiles and sort of grabs her brother by the arm. And Ismark looks over at Irina, back at you, Morley, and says, with you guys around, I have no doubt that we will see that one day. Thank you. Throughout this this hour journey down the path, you've all had the equivalent of a short rest, so you're welcome to do whatever your character would have happen with a short rest. Spend some hit dice and get some spell slots if you're one of those that can get spell slots from a short rest. In the meantime, you're also all just getting this wagon, this second carriage all set up. You've got the pelt on top, you've bounded all the bodies in, and you're all kind of just escorting this wagon at this point, because there's only room on the front for 3. 2 on the front of... So there's only probably 2 of you walking, right? And if that's the case. So who's walking? Morley, cool.
I'll walk.
And Irina has volunteered to walk alongside you.
Keeping fit.
I'll be like, Bill, right up front with me. I'm counting on you to be your charming and persuasive self when we meet these gatekeepers.
I can do that.
Exactly like that, Bill.
Just like that. Just like that. That's perfect.
In fact, I'm going to lightly touch him on the arm and use a spell called Enhance Ability, and I'm going to say, yes.
Wait. I do want to say, before you do this, John is about to leave us for the night because he can only play for a certain amount of time. So don't go spending anything for what might happen after the break.
Yeah. Don't waste it on this loser.
Yeah.
Just breaking the fourth wall for a moment there.
I'm going to be like, whoever the character with the second best charisma, come over here. Oh, hey, Morley.
The American.
You're looking very suave today. I'm going to lightly touch him on the arm and say, yes, may you have the splendor of an eagle today.
Well, I'm feeling all splendory.
It didn't work. It didn't work, sorry.
Oh, God, I did the spell wrong.
All right. So the road branches north from just up the road a little bit and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have become accustomed. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up from the walled settlement up to that abbey. And we'll take our break now, I reckon. Before we get into Krezk.
Ooh. What's a switchback road, though?
It's kind of like doubles back. It's kind of like heaps of U-turns. Like, you know how like you can't go just straight up a hill? You got to go across it and then turn around and then go across it and then turn around and go. It's kind of like that. Guys, you're actually going to get to Krezk.
Oh, spoilers.
Holy shit. I'm impressed.
Amazing.
Google imaged Barovia winter, and I got that.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That is cool. Cool. Man, that's been good. You guys enjoyed that so far? Got some new information?
Nice wrap up and some decent backstory.
Yeah.
You know what was really funny? We were discussing a no DM allowed, and we're like, okay, well, we won't kill this werewolf because, you know, we don't want to be like the bad guys.
Did I make him irredeemable enough? I must have, right?
I think,
I
I just feel like that we can, in good conscience, let him go and roam the earth when he was very unrepentant about hurting children. So, you know.
It was when he mentioned the rounding up of children and how they were all in agreement that, well, that's, of course.
Of course, that bit is solid.
The only sticking point is, do we murder them or convert them? Murder them or convert them?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Do we turn them into child soldiers or make them fight to the death and then make the winner a child soldier?
I was surprised.
Yeah, do we host a werewolf battle royale or do we not?
I was. Do you like that they fight to death before they get bitten as well? So just like these young children, just handed weapons.
Absolute suffering. Yeah.
And
he was like, honestly, that was a little bit far for me, but.
But
not because it was immoral, just because it didn't get us enough child slaves.
I was really surprised you guys didn't ask him where his pack lives.
Details.
Too late to do that?
It is. It's very, very too late to do that.
Baron Byron revives him and we quickly ask him.
Oh, by the way, Baron, you do still have the head of a young Vistani boy.
Yeah.
No, Vistani man.
Is he young?
Well, no, sorry. It's a young man. He's a young man. So you've still got that head.
Hopefully they don't search you on the way in.
Yeah, where are you keeping the head?
In my, I guess I only have a small waistcoat, don't I?
Yeah.
Can you put them in the bag of holding?
You
Can you put a head in there?
It would be
which Loris dropped as he walked into the mist.
Absolutely dropped it.
Just in a carry bag, I guess.
Okay.
It's
like a satchel.
Like a supermarket. One of those.
A tote bag.
Yeah.
He's just holding a tote bag with like a steadily growing patch of blood in the corner.
No, it's not bleeding. It's all good.
It's like mummified almost.
Yeah.
But I like the image
waxy.
of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
A waxy stain.
See you, John, if you're gone when I'm back.
Bye,
I will
Adam.
miss you.
Have a great, cool.
Thanks.
I will just.
I will.
I will just give.
Sorry, I'm like this.
I will just give a big thank you to Brizzy Voices again for rating us. What did I miss then? What did I miss? I missed something.
Just apologise.
Sorry, I'm like this.
Oh, right. I love that he's like that. Massive thank you to Brizzy Voices for rating us again. I think she came in with like a raid of, I think it was like 80 odd people.
Wow.
So thank you so much. It's like 3 weeks in a row we've had that wonderful person give us a raid of incredibly high numbers. So thank you so much. And we even got a follow out of it. Tgoria91, thank you for that. Thank you for the follow. And also people have been...
Thank you for not telling us that there are a bunch more people in there that we need to feel like we need to impress as well.
Yeah.
I always feel way more self-conscious when there's like more people have joined.
There's definitely two reasons I don't say. One of them that, and also because then I have to edit it out of the podcast, and that makes it a bit harder. So I just do the thanks. I normally put some thanks up in the chat while I'm doing it, and I think Random Origins, if you don't see me putting up a thank you, please do thank them on behalf of us when you see that happening, because it's incredibly loved. It's very welcome. And yeah, it's awesome. Definitely check out Brizzy Voices as well.
Yeah. I just think it's funny. Imagine someone just stumbling on us just in the middle of one of our conversations. It just must be the most bizarre thing ever.
No, I tell you what. There was a lot of people enjoying it, to be honest. Because someone put loved the moment where Jan said, "I'm just telling you the facts," and then Morley just tells him just to fuck off. So they like that very much. Which was so the other reason I didn't say anything is everything was flowing really nicely. It was a really nice moment as well. So the whole conversation with Jan was fantastic.
Yeah. I love when he said he gained a pack of werewolves. That was so good.
When you think you're about to say something really deep and poignant and you've got no final word for it, you just got nothing. You got nothing for it.
Yeah, we set you up for that.
It's like you lost humanity but gained. I was just like, I don't know, werewolves.
He wasn't wrong.
Because he said he gained like a family and a pack of, and I was just like, fuck, I don't know, werewolves, I guess.
You're like,
I did nothing.
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I am looking at a brand new map as well. This is exciting. I think we're into a very exciting part of Curse of Strahd. We're coming up to anyway. It's gonna be
I'm glad I'm ducking off at the rest of the session.
I mean, like the next.
I'm glad I was here for the wagon logistics.
Yeah.
And not the exciting part.
And then we're like, we need the face of the party. Who's the best at talking and making new friends and just with ease? And he's like, I gotta go.
I will bounce.
When I say exciting, I mean the next few sessions are going to be really good.
Not the end of this one though. You won't miss anything. It'll just be more.
It's only going to be the second half of the session that's great, and then the rest.
We're just going to focus on wagon logistics for the rest of the session. Don't worry. Stacking, unstacking.
Oh boy, there's going to be plenty of stacking and unstacking.
I've been writing down all my logistics here.
I want to see
how to stack and who to bring.
I want to see like a technical drawing, like one of those with the walls taken down, of like what the carriage looks like stacked up, like a isometric roof and side away,
or obtuse. Maybe we should do obtuse ones.
Obtuse.
Have you got AutoCAD on your machine, Shannon?
I'll get it. I'll download it now.
Do you mean orthographic or is obtuse?
Orthographic. Don't they have obtuse? No, probably. It was a long time ago.
But
orthographics top and
just
side and
basically
bottom.
Like What's obtuse?
Obtuse is like a really ugly version of isometric, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's back.
Everything's on like it's flat. Flat and then 45 angles.
Isometric's what you want.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Adam?
SodaStream lemonade.
Oh.
So budget, and everyone's like, ooh.
That's so funny. We walked past a bunch of SodaStream flavoring in the supermarket just like yesterday or whatever, and Reagan was like, should we get some? And I was like, no. Disgusting.
Heck no.
So we have a SodaStream, so I don't know what the fuck we're doing if we don't have flavors for it.
I prefer to go more bougie.
When I bought my SodaStream, have we got time for a very quick?
We definitely do.
I went to Noel Levy, I bought the SodaStream, and I went in, and I couldn't see them anywhere. And turns out they were just in like a big pile on a pallet ready to put out on the shop floor. And I found the guy, and it turned out I was speaking to the manager of like Noel Lemming, and he was like, because I said, "Oh, I'm looking for a soda stream." Went, "Oh yeah, no, great, they're over here looking for something to have a mixer, eh?" I was like, "Oh," and I just kind of shrugged it off, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then he took me up to the counter, and he went, "Do you want any other flavors, or you got your own special stuff at home?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I will. I'll grab a lemonade." And he went, "It doesn't come with any booze." I went, "Okay." And he went, "What will you be having with it? Jack Daniels or Jim Beam?" He wouldn't fucking leave it alone. I say to him, I went, "So I'm actually buying this just so I can drink more water." And he went, "Oh." His whole demeanor changed. Like I was just like a fucking pussy.
Oh, you disappointed him so much. It's like, fellow alcoholic, I see.
Yeah.
Weird.
You must
wait till it's
you must
5
have like
o'clock.
a look about you to get these kind of interactions with people, I reckon.
I don't know how it happens. Because
I just imagine you walked in
fob
there.
off.
You must have walked in there with some real fucking energy, like, gonna get me some fucking fizzy water. This is it. It's like, yeah, party guys coming in. This is gonna be great.
Oi, oi! Where you hiding your soda streams?
Give me that Red Bull, that knockoff Red Bull Soda Stream mix, please.
If they've got some, that sounds great.
Vague recollection of this. It sounds fucking disgusting.
It's awful.
I do have a question of the week from Larp Kiwi in the chat as well.
Oh, yay.
If you could play a race other than the ones that are already in the party, which race would you want to play and why? We'll use the D&D version of the word race for this one.
Otherwise,
Oh, now I don't have my answer anymore. Whew, dodged a bullet there. Glad I didn't speak up too soon. Okay, I have a real answer.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to play a Genasi. I like magically races.
Any specific version of the Genasi?
I think a water Genasi would be fun to play. Just because it would... I would imagine that you could play it in a lot of different ways, but I would probably try and play it like someone who's kind of like very goes with the flow, like just like has the serenity to them of water, and they're just kind of like extremely passive. No, they're not bubbly.
The Soda Stream
They're
Genasi.
not bubbly water.
If they get really excited, they get like
They turn into
2
soda stream
squirts
water.
of the soda stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Is
Yeah.
Soda Stream like a international thing?
Yeah, what if like
Yeah.
no one outside New
Israeli.
Zealand knows what soda
Must
stream
be.
they made it in Israel.
Really? Okay.
The brand Soda Stream. There are other companies that do bubbly water machines, but Soda Stream
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Gotcha.
Israeli.
Okay.
Ah,
All right. Okay. Good answer, Joe. Shannon, how about you?
Thank you.
I think I would like to play one of those robots.
Oh, what are they?
Warforged.
Yeah, that's the one.
I hate
Maybe.
anything that's robot like.
Okay.
I'm prejudiced against robots.
Fuck your choice.
I
robots.
I do. I hate robots. Any media that has robots in it, I'm like,
Really? So as soon as you see a robot, sucks.
yeah, that and spaceships. I'm just like, I don't care about this.
So Star Wars.
Star
your
Wars is
fave.
like definitely out.
No, I can still get into it sometimes, but most of the time I like glaze over when I
Millennium
see a spaceship.
Falcon.
If
She's
you
just
had to
like
pick
fuck
one,
off.
Would it be
Yeah.
C-3PO or R2-D2? Which would be your favorite droid from those two?
Well, I mean,
Goldenrod.
C-3PO, definitely C-3PO.
Okay.
Really?
Because he's the only one that can talk.
What did you call him? Goldenrod.
Yeah.
Not like that.
That's
Not
what
like
Han
that.
Solo calls him. He goes, okay, Goldenrod.
I don't want him like that.
A great nickname.
I know.
That's not why I like him.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like, oh, just to clarify, I don't want to fuck him, guys.
Yeah.
I don't
can't
pick him because he's
say
got
no.
a goldenrod.
No.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah, I think that
Warforged.
would be cool.
Because they're really.
I mean, personally, I thought it would be cool.
I actually think
robot.
C-3PO would stress me out a lot as a friend.
Hey, imagine if I had a Warforged that was exactly like C-3PO.
that would
Okay,
be
I'm
amazing.
back
Now
in.
I'm in.
I'm back in.
Aren't the Warforged only in like one book of D&D? It's not really all throughout Faerun, right? It's
I
like,
don't know anything about D&D.
What's the
They're not. It's not part of. It's not part of Faerun.
No, it's not. It's, what is it? In my head, I'm thinking Unearthed Arcana, but it's not. It's something else. It's Eberron.
Eberron.
Last Kiwi got me.
I don't even know what Eberron is. I hear the word a lot.
Eberron is quite like steampunky.
Yeah, I don't like steampunk. I'm prejudiced against it.
Okay, well, I'll go and no.
I don't mind if anyone plays a Warforged.
Oh no, you've got.
Like...
She's going to allow it now. It's okay. You're allowed.
I'll
to.
allow
I'm going to be a spaceship. I want to be a spaceship. Fly around.
A sentient spaceship.
Yeah.
Yuck! Get your sci-fi out of my fantasy. Disgusting. Next,
John. What race?
I think I would be an orc.
Oh.
You want to be one of those? Like, are you a good orc or a bad orc?
Just an orc. Because I like their tusks.
So what's an orc? Is it good or bad?
This gets into that conversation of are there good orcs?
I think, I think they can be good orcs.
Well, there are in D&D. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah, we let's all decide to mutually hate whatever race the other people choose.
This filter is not really working that well.
Not
Can
with
someone
like
transparent orc.
please say Genasi sucks so I don't feel like the worst?
They're actually
Genasi.
No, they're pretty cool, actually.
So
I think they're really great.
Yeah, they're the only cool.
I think it's super interesting.
So Genasi is actually, from what I read, they have genies or magic folk in their lineage.
I mean, genies suck.
Or they can spontaneously be like blessed with magical power or something like through a freakish event, from what I can tell. Both are cool ideas, I think.
Aren't they spawned from eggs or something?
No,
Or rocks, like monkey?
I don't think so. I think you can literally be like a baby born in a village and the baby is like super magical because there's like magical heritage in the family, like generations back. And then they all shun it for being a creepy magic baby. You know, classic character development.
So why an orc, John?
I just think you're cool. Like they're powerful and like they're just sweet.
Sweet. Do you find that I feel like they're one of the more challenging races to play because their characters are based about being very aggressive and savage, for lack of a better word. Yeah. Like they're very warfaring. Is that the word?
I listened to another D&D podcast called Four Orbs.
Excuse me?
Really great. And that's okay. I don't listen to this one. I listen to one D&D podcast, and it's Four Orbs. And there's a guy on there who is a comedian. They're all from Arkansas, actually, and he plays an orc, and he plays it so well. It's so good.
Yeah, so how does he play it?
He does play it quite aggressive, but like always kind of tempering and trying to learn or trying to be better.
Yeah,
see, I think
that's really important, eh?
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of soft spot or some kind of mitigating thing that makes you like endearing in some way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the orc. Like if you look at the half orc description, there's nothing that's like, you're probably evil.
But that's half orc.
Is there like a thing in the orcs that says that you're supposed to be evil? Or?
Well, I don't believe they're a playable character outside of like
in 5e.
Right?
In 5e, it's only half orc that's playable. Right?
Yeah. So I think by the books, before any adjustments have been made or are being made, I think they're very much only in the monster stat or monster manual.
And how ugly is one of your parents going to be? Like
as a half orc?
If they're going to root an orc.
Maybe they're not shallow.
Just had a really good personality.
Yeah.
Heart of gold, that orc.
Yeah.
I mean the human.
You're saying the human would have to be like just butt ugly. What if
Yeah.
they've just got really low
Yeah, but
self-esteem?
I'm saying is the orc, half of that pair has a heart of gold,
Yes. Okay.
and that is all the person sees.
Yeah.
Hoju the Elder said, better question. Might be how many drinks before you get there.
The more we talk about this, the more concerning it becomes.
Yeah,
does,
I know. I know.
Adam.
That's what I find weird. You know, you got
Yeah.
a walk and...
I feel like the orc situation is a conundrum that the less you think about it, the better, really.
Yes, yeah. They're like cool, like in World of Warcraft or something.
I reckon when the 6th edition rolls out, they'll be just one of the selectable classes. They won't be in the monster manual.
Whenever I think of orcs, though, I think of the Lord of the Rings ones.
That's what I think normally
and they're
as
just heinous, evil.
I think of the World of Warcraft ones.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
the difference,
fair.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, if you were to play as a different race, what would it be?
It sounds really boring, but I'd probably just go human.
You
But
can't.
we already have a
that's
human.
what
You
we-
can't
yeah.
pick it.
Wait, yes,
What?
he can. He's a half elf.
No.
So.
No, I thought you
Their
said you have to
environment
pick
is a
one that's
human.
not in the.
Oh, one that's
Current
not
group.
currently
Yeah.
in the party. Other than the ones that are already in the party, which race would you choose?
Oh, okay. Well, the other thing that we've all guested on Fate of Ison, I think it's safe to say. And one time when I guested on Fate of Ison, one of the other guests played a tiefling.
Oh, yeah.
And there was quite an interesting kind of, because people were kind of about the tiefling, and
Yeah.
tieflings apparently get a hard time.
Yeah.
I thought people
So I-
loved
Because everyone
tieflings.
thinks they're descended from demon
Yeah.
type folk, but they're not necessarily bad.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of sexy tieflings all over Twitter.
Yeah, thank you.
I hear.
I think it appeals. It appeals to people to play an outsider character.
Yeah.
I like
As
I
a
like the idea.
middle-class man, I feel like I'd really identify with this underprivileged character who other people judge based solely on their appearance.
Didn't because I ran a text campaign, and didn't you play a tiefling and you did a shit in someone's sink?
In the game, just to be.
By the way,
Yeah.
that's a good place to say that if you want to get a chance to play text D&D with us, definitely jump on our Discord. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you want to be in the Discord so you can get into that, because that's a lot of fun. And it's usually Shannon that runs it. He's the only one with the
couple times.
patience.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got to go.
All right, John, thank you.
See you later, everybody.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Wonderful night.
Again.
All right.
Have a great
Please
day.
have,
Yeah, have a
Please
nice
have it.
call.
please have an exciting second half of the session without me. I'll see you later.
I see ya. Asnog mentioned that orcs are a playable race from Volo's Guide to Monsters. Notice that it's a guide to monsters.
Oh, right.
just saying.
Sometimes they make monster races playable in expansions.
Edward Scissorhands was a monster, wasn't he?
And the
I feel like
monsters.
we talked
The monsters were monsters.
I would like to play a human monster.
I would like to play Edward Scissorhands, actually.
Oh.
I reckon
What
that can
about
happen.
Eddie the werewolf? I've said this in the past. I want to just play a monsters RPG.
Okay. All right.
What was the reaction like then?
I was fucking everyone's on board. I was all gonna go, and then I didn't ever heard back from them. Something happened. That'd be pretty good. Grandpa.
There's a monster mobile, isn't there?
There's a
yeah.
monster mobile.
And there's a real version
Fucking
of
amazing.
it that someone bought in one of them trashy shows about when you cut the bolts on long-term storage and flip it out.
Oh,
Someone found the original drawings, and then they went and found the guy who owned the car.
because they did make one, for the show. It's amazing. It's like it's a big hot rod, but it's like sort of a hearse hot rod with curtains and.
I always get
Fucking rules.
monsters in Adam's Family are the characters. I just can't tell which one was in which anymore. So I know obviously Herman was in the monsters, but that's kind of it. That's
Lurch was the equivalent in Adam's
Lurch.
Family.
Yeah. I see it instantly. You said Lurch, and I went, yeah, from the Munsters. So
No, Herman Munster, who was fucking hilarious.
yeah,
Lily,
okay.
Eddie, their son, a werewolf
I
boy.
I remember Eddie.
Their what was their niece, who was just a really hot blonde girl, and they were always like, "Oh, such a shame about how she's so ugly," and that was their joke. And then And Grandpa Monster. Fantastic.
Right. Yeah. I
Vampire
remember the
guy,
vampire. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay.
And then in the Addams family, you had Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday, and Pugsley, Lurch the butler, cousin at and Uncle Fester.
Oh, very nice. You really rattled that off.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I'm
I
impressed.
watched a lot of Addams Family when I was a child, and they used to park me in front of the TV, like
yeah.
just before dinner, which was normally something shit like spaghetti sandwiches.
What's
Move on. Spaghetti sandwiches. We can't go into this. This sounds like a rabbit hole.
You never had a spaghetti sandwich?
I've had a spaghetti like toasted sandwich. Was it at least toasted?
Toasted sandwich.
Just cold bread. Was the spaghetti cold?
Shannon's like,
what is spaghetti?
time out, guys. We're going into a traumatic phase of Adam's childhood. Let's not.
I know. This is Adam's real family. Spaghetti sandwiches are more traumatic than
true horror. That's true spookiness. Malnutrition.
Dirty pool.
All right. Oh, did you end up getting that grilled cheese sandwich, Adam? Did you?
No.
I can't believe it.
So bring it up.
I swear I'm going to make a Gordon Ramsay comic, but I just have to get around to it.
Oh, good. Okay, just tell me just really quickly, what is on a spaghetti sandwich and what kind of spaghetti? Obviously, the spaghetti on there.
What
kind of spaghetti?
Was it like some unnamed third-party spaghetti as well? Or was it what it is?
Not the Pabs.
It was
that spaghetti from a can?
Tinned Waddy's spaghetti. Every now and then.
Class.
Did you think Italian spaghetti, Shannon?
Yeah, I was thinking, well, let's fucking, put some spaghetti in a pot.
Waddy's tinned spaghetti. Every now and then we would splash out and get spaghetti with the little sausages that would compress luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the sausages.
Yeah, I remember those.
Fantastic.
And then the bread, always the same bread in my house growing up. It was, does anyone remember Country Style? And it was
or Country Split.
Bread. Country Split, and it has seeds on top, and they tried to
looks
make
Italian-y, doesn't it?
But it was cheap shit. And then
There's holes in it too.
we were a margarine household. I don't know about you guys, but we were a marg household, which I've really gone away. I've shunned it.
Table spread.
No, it was
sun was.
Yeah.
It's with the sunflower on it.
Yes. Yeah. And it was. I don't like margarine now.
So you didn't get
the
budget spaghetti, which is each bit is this long. You get a can of that blue and white can. It says budget on it.
We were poor, but we weren't that poor. We weren't like
the spaghetti's that long.
No. Anyway, that's a lot of information I've given about the spaghetti sandwich.
Not enough.
Probably not enough. Tuning in for this.
I need to know: is it toasted?
No, we've been through this. It's just out of the packet.
How did you hold on to that? How did you?
Was the margarine golden canola?
No, it was not. It was like.
That's the one that my mum still gets. That
Sunmade, or no, that's raisins.
It's raisins.
Raisins. Oh.
We just ground the raisins into. Oh, here it is. It was Country Crock.
Oh,
wait, Country Split. So Country Split bread and Country Crock margarine.
Because it's
Country
it's
soft.
like from the country, right? It's fancy.
Country soft, surely.
No, Country Split.
Country soft spread.
Country Crock, and it came in a
Country Crock.
It came in like
beige.
I've never seen Country Crock in my life.
It's like a beige pack.
Did you grow up in Wanganui? Maybe it was a big thing in Wanganui.
So normally, when you toast bread, it kind of helps stop the sauce from spaghetti soak into the bread.
What the margarine does. It's like a barrier.
Oh, it's like a real thick layer.
It essentially is a plastic, so there's no better spread to really accomplish what you were looking for. And it didn't even really melt, if I'm honest.
Wait,
Jesus Christ.
So did you heat up the spaghetti?
Yeah. It's not an animal.
Cold spaghetti sandwiches. No.
How are you feeling about your life right now, Adam? You feeling okay? You're not feeling too...
I'm feeling great because, as an adult, I've not skimped on, the quality of brands that I buy. I'm, the worst kind of shopper.
I thought you were going to say, as an adult, I can have that whenever I want now.
That too. Just try and stop me. I eat country crock out of the fucking tub.
Country crock.
Mix in a bit
country
of
crock.
petrol.
Country soft. Is
No,
what?
I'm giving you the name. If you can't accept it, then that's a you problem.
Country crock. Okay.
Have you
A
ever?
crock is,
Like
a crock is like a butter crock.
Yeah.
Like in provincial
Is it
France,
what?
there's a clay. What you'd
Yeah.
have a clay thing, and you'd put
Yeah.
your butter in it, and then you'd seal that.
I
with
believe
water.
you.
Yeah, and it was
Believe
called
it.
country crock.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know really what's going on, if I'm being honest. What is a crock? Is that like a?
Like, you know, like,
Get into
Is it
this.
with a QUE?
oh, this conversation will never
Right.
end.
Is it
You
like,
don't you know?
no, is
Think
it like,
about it,
is
though.
it with a QUE? Like clock?
Why would it
Like,
be like
No,
Because you
think
said
of the
like-
word crockery.
It's not
like
that
the
fancy.
French, like the French word,
Croquet.
like crock.
No,
Think of the word
what
crockery.
French words do you know that like I start with a Q and a U?
No,
Crock
end
pot.
in a QUE, like CRO.
Oh, croque, like croque monsieur.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a croque madame.
yeah, that's now who's laughing. Anyway, I like how you've just got the Adams family. No, yeah, Adams family just playing there now.
What's he fiddling with there?
Yes.
Stay
Okay,
under
we,
light.
We should probably.
this is what Krezk looks like,
Sweet.
I imagine.
Can we get taken down for having?
Oh,
Anyway, I just want you to know we did get a follower during all of that conversation, so
Wow.
it was warranted. It was definitely a much needed conversation.
yeah, I had a,
Who was it?
it got me hungry.
Yeah.
Some
crock.
Reagan doesn't understand why I'm obsessed with Gordon Ramsay's grilled cheese.
I don't get it. That's for another night.
I get it, Joe. I hear you.
Thank you, Patty Paints. Thank you, Patty Paints, for giving us a follow during that absurd conversation of wet, cold spaghetti sandwiches. All right, it's nighttime by the time you guys
My
get.
pleasure. Sorry.
It is nighttime by the time you guys get to sort of the junction leading up to Krezk. The road branches. Oh, maybe I already read that one. I read all that. I just ruined that great intro into the second part of tonight. There is that steady chime, like I mentioned. Let's move you on to the map.
Ooh, new town. I'm fucking
What?
excited.
And go, hark, that steady chime sets me at ease. It is a wonderful contrast to the depressing rest of Barovia shrouded in fog.
Okay.
I'm just sitting on top, finishing my spaghetti sandwich, looking out.
Hey, where'd you get that, Brian?
It's in my pocket.
So,
Warmed by my body.
can you guys see the new map there? You might have to zoom out to see
Yep.
something. There should be just like a little
Oh, yeah.
party
Oh, it's a fork in
location.
the road.
That's
A
the
hole.
fork.
Another turning point.
I'll just show you down here. This is what you're seeing kind of at the top of this road. You're seeing this wonderful wall. This is the 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses that it mentioned. That's what you're sort of seeing at the top of this path.
And that goes up to the switchback thing up the mountain, does it?
The switchback. You might see it eventually. I don't want to reveal too much at this point.
Oh, wait. What's the wall heading towards? The mist.
The what? The wall? The wall
Well,
is
you
around.
just moved us down to
I'm just-
show these big buttresses.
That was what you see. I'm just saying that's what you see at the top of this. Up here, up there. This is what you're seeing. It's just a
Oh,
cool, it's just a
okay,
cool
okay,
drawing.
I got
It's
you.
just
On
a,
the map,
it's
just
just
show
a,
us.
It's just a nice
Yeah.
bit of art
Okay.
there for you.
That's art.
That's art. Nothing more than art. I can get rid of it. I can just delete it. Like whatever. I can.
No,
if it's going
no.
to cause
We don't want you
confusion.
to-
So you guys are all in formation. You've got everything set up in your carriage. Are you heading up this rocky, what they call escarpment?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah,
The air,
we're like,
Yeah, escarpment.
yeah, let's
back
get
to
tested,
the
man.
tower and talk
Yeah.
some more.
the air grows colder as you approach the walled settlement. Two square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway into which is set a pair of 12-foot tall, iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the doors is a name. Krezk. You're here, guys. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 foot high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears, and they're watching you nervously.
I'm gonna wave out to them.
Is that?
Hello there!
Did the lighting
No
update
need
for
to
you
be
guys?
nervous.
I feel like it's broken on my side, but is it working for you guys? Can you still see on the map? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Sweet.
Let's see.
Cool.
Hello!
Just remember, Morley's feeling his most charming self and has advantage on all charisma checks for the next hour.
Okay. You you call up to one of the guards, and one of the guards sort of leans down over the edge and says, "What do you want?"
Well, let me ask you a question.
Go
What
right
do you-
ahead.
I said, yeah, I think we've got something you want. Do you like wine?
Yes, we love wine.
And have you got any wine?
We haven't had wine for quite some time.
Well, my friend, today is your lucky day, 'cause we got some wine.
You don't look like the normal fellows.
Boy, have you heard the phrase beggars can't be choosers?
How do we know it's wine?
Well, you could maybe... Wait, so this guy's above me, right?
Yeah, he's calling down from like atop this tower.
Well, drop me something that I can put some wine in, and then you can pull it back up and treat yourself to a wee sup on the job. Just a tiny amount, no mind.
Give me a persuasion roll, and you get to do it with advantage thanks to your ability.
Oh, baby. Sorry, it's creepy. Oh, no. Oh, good.
You get to roll. You get to roll again.
4.
Oh,
And
no.
1.
All right, with a twinkle.
Wait, a quick out of game moment. Who thinks Morley should die immediately, and your character should roll that?
Yeah, it
bring
falls
in your
down
new
the
tinkling
escarpment.
character.
I feel like I should start allowing you to just like roll your own dice. I think because roll 20 is not your best friend.
Just wait. Give me one more go with a physical dice,
And you get
which I definitely won't flub.
a +5 with it.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
This is just pity at this point.
It is. I feel bad.
It's a 4.
Which is
Oh,
literally
it's an 18 now.
which is literally the same as your first roll. So we'll stick with your first roll of
9 isn't that bad.
nine's.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nine's not great when you're trying to convince someone what you have is wine and not a barrel of poison.
Poison.
But he'll be thirsty for it. He'll be
I'll
wanting
help.
to
Yeah.
believe like Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
I can help by calling up. It's not poison if that's what you think.
You're not helping.
Just sniff the cork.
There isn't any cork. It's an open top
Sniff
barrel.
this cork. And I'll give him this
my
cork,
cork.
Molly.
So,
the cork
so
and
with
get a
with a
cork?
twinkle in your eye, you could yell up, like send something down to fill up. He's like, "No, it's all right. Maybe you should come back in the morning."
What? We'll get attacked out
Maybe-
here,
maybe
and then
if you could
you
bring-
won't have your wine. I'm talking. We'll get attacked. We won't have the wine, and then your village be running dry for God knows how long.
And he whispers to one of the other guards on the tower with him. And then,
Wait. Davian sent me.
And he stops. That's good. That's good. He stops whispering to the guy, looks over the thing. What did you say?
He said Davian sent us. He sent us with a wine delivery from the Wizard of Wines.
Yes.
Okay, I mean that's good. That's good use of in-game knowledge, Adam. I like that. Says, "Oh,
Patronizing.
Roll another dice.
Thanks for congratulating me on remembering the basic details of the characters we've made.
You guys forgot you were delivering wine here. I mean,
that was just me.
And me.
We're going to deliver it back to them.
yeah.
Wine. Wine must go wine, people.
He says, "You know Davian?"
Oh, very well. And his son?
That old son of a bitch.
Damn it, you totally ruined what I was going to say. I'm not going to do it now. So why aren't they delivering the wine? What's happened? Is Davian all right?
He's all right, but they're rebuilding the winery. Let us in. I'll tell you all about it.
What happened?
There was a bit of a kerfuffle, but let us in and we'll tell you all about it. I'm getting bloody cold out here, man.
Druids.
It is pretty cold. You've got some pelts you could use.
One.
Yes. Plenty of pelts in the wagon. We're selling pelts too.
He whispers to the guard next to him, and the guard sort of gets down off the. You can hear sort of like clambering behind the gate. Says, "We're just going to get the Burgomaster here. See if and he'll meet you at the gate in maybe like 10 minutes."
All right.
We've got a Burgomaster.
We've got a Burgomaster ourselves, actually. We've got Ismark the Lesser, who's accompanied us by order of Davian. So we'll see you in 10. 5 would be better, but 10 it is if that's how long it's going to take.
We've got the skeleton with another Burgomaster.
Technically we've got 2 Burgomasters.
You're collecting them.
We're collecting them. Maybe we can get a third.
This is the third one we're going to meet.
The hat trick. Complete the whole set.
Good job, Morley. Good job. You won him over with the help of my spell. Amazing. So charming.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without that buff.
Yes, I'm glad I used a spell slot. No, but I think got like a good 50 minutes left on the spell. So.
I think I get a hard time for having passive aggressive NPCs, but Joe's passive aggressiveness towards spell casting, I think, is my favorite thing.
I'm very resentful of my own spells.
Ismark turns to you, Morley, and says, "Do you think this is going to be okay? I don't really know anything about Krezk."
Well, we're here on legitimate business, Ismark. We are here to deliver wine. We just have a couple of other things we'd like to do while we're here. Of course, I think it's going to be okay.
And you hear...
They seem very cautious. I think they want to search us.
And you can hear sort of calling out, "Open the gate!"
Oh.
This character is fabulous.
Uh-oh.
Is he off RuPaul's Drag Race?
Where it's flamboyant.
I love him. Okay,
God.
really good. Okay.
How are the gates open?
Open the gate! Suffering
I
second
love
time.
it. I love it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Molly, this is it. Get your game face on. Smile. Smile.
Two copper that he's wearing a feather boa when that door opens. I bet you 2 copper.
The gates open, and there's light starts to trickle in through the gap that's been made. And there's a silhouette of a man standing quite proudly in the middle of the doors as it fully opens up. And as the torches either side of him light him up, you can see he's wearing very noble clothing, and he's standing with one hand on the hilt of a rapier at his side, and he says, "Fuck, I'm terrified of using his voice now."
No, we love it.
And he says, "Ah, I see you have my wine."
Yeah.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, your Burgomaster-iness. We
Please
certainly do.
Call me Dmitri.
Of course, Dmitri. I am Captain Morley. My friends, Baron Byram,
Please,
Mirakin, Bill, a bard, of some repute, and Ismark and his younger sister, Irina.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you all. If you could leave the barrels just inside the gate, and That would be great.
Might we trouble you for a night's accommodation at an inn and stimulate the local economy?
He instantly lets out a sigh, just like this pained kind of... You have brought me my wine. The least I can do is offer you bed for the night?
And breakfast.
I don't do the same joke twice, Adam. Come on.
I didn't know you'd done that joke before.
Oh,
No, we want Bed Bath and Beyond.
that was
remember?
Bed Bath and Beyond. Sorry. I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that back. I don't do
Can you retcon it
similar...
and make him say bed and breakfast then?
And breakfast.
Oh, Dmitri, that is wonderful news. Wonderful. Come on, inside we get and we'll unload the wine.
But I must ask
Finally,
you
a
to
real
leave
noble.
as soon as possible.
Oh, we will make tracks as soon as we are practically able to.
Now, the thing is, Morley, was it?
It was Dmitri.
We don't really have any taverns or accommodation. We are...
Oh.
But you may...
Oh, we can take the wine back. All right, pack up the wine.
Push it, Wooly.
Oh, I'm just... you're welcome to stay, but you may need to sleep either in your wagon or... We just...
Didn't you just offer us a best?
in your wagon? No.
Thanks.
Look, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. He's
let's just
leading
get
us
in there.
inside.
Okay, well, perhaps we could have a chat once we're in the gates. All right, let's get this wine in, eh? Let's get everyone...
He stands to the side and sort of allows your horses and wagon and carriage to sort of make their way into Krezk. Let's see if I can refresh this map because it's not showing up very well on my side. Just going to put you here and then put you back, and hopefully that's going to work.
We did it. We're in. Now we fireball the place.
Ah,
Yes, you fools.
what is going on?
Kill
Sorry.
them all.
Those werewolves only whet my appetite.
I raise my
All right, here
hands
we go.
and say, "It is time for the great slaughter."
They invited us in, like, what? If
Like
you invited
vampires.
vampire in, yeah.
Don't be saying stuff like that. Baron. Spook them.
We're not vampires, if that's what you're thinking.
But
We're
thanks.
not vampires, you know,
If we were, though.
but we're not.
So you sort of step through these walls and make your way with Dmitri further into the city. The mist-shrouded village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along these long dirt roads that stretch between stands of snow-dusted pine trees. There's so many trees, in fact, that it would possibly even constitute just a village within a forest. To the northeast, grey cliffs rise sharply, and the road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from the village.
Wow. What a beautiful village you've got here, Dmitri. It reminds me of Milford Sound, which you wouldn't know. But, it's lovely.
Just what I might do? Something's going on with the view here. You know what? I'm just going to turn off all of this annoying dynamic lighting so we can just take a look at what's going on.
There we go.
So you can see up to the sort of north of where you are. You can see the path that's heading north is what travels up this hill to the right, to the northeast, to the abbey. And the conversation you've been having with Dmitri sort of explains to you that they don't get a lot of people in here. What they do is they let people in to deliver the wine, and then they leave. Basically, they're not one for allowing people in and out. And he starts talking about the villagers here are so terrified of Strahd and his wolves that they never venture away from this village. within these walls, we are basically self-sustaining. We grow trees that provide ample wood to keep them warm on cold nights like tonight, and they draw water from a blessed pool. We have chickens,
A blessed pool?
hares.
A blessed pool, you say?
We have a sort of a pool to the north that gives water to the entire area. That's how we stay sustained with water. We've got small animals, chickens, hares, and pigs that we farm for our food, as well as a garden.
You farm hares?
Yeah, yes. Hares.
Like Kim Jong-un. He was trying to do that, wasn't he?
Okay.
I'm trying to so just so you know, Dungeon Master, I'm trying to like sound like really impressed by everything and really kind of make it seem to Dmitri like I think this place is the tits.
Okay. Yeah, cool. The only thing we really depend on here in Krezk is the wine.
Well, we've sorted you out with that, haven't we? And my word, what a beautiful community! I'm so impressed, Dmitri.
Well, thank you. These walls have kept us safe for centuries now.
We were just passing through Vallaki, weren't we, Mirakin?
Indeed.
They were similarly terrified, but yeah, you've got a wonderful setup here. Looks very safe, and yes, I can only reiterate how we'd love to stay just one night to recuperate. It's been a long journey, if I'm honest.
You've noticed that the quality of the homes in here, while being quite rustic, they're not as damaged as what you've seen in Barovia and what you've seen in Vallaki. And Dmitri says, if Vargas had built some proper walls around Vallaki, I'm sure they would be safer than the stories I'm hearing.
Well, you know Vargas, do you?
I have had a word or two at the gates. He is a rude man. Rude man.
Oh, I agree. Didn't know him well. Actually, didn't know him well. Anyway, so you don't have any sort of reciprocal trading agreement or anything like that with Vallaki?
No, thanks to our self-sustaining nature, we have nothing we need from Vallaki, and Vallaki has nothing that we would want.
All right, I'm ready to move in. How can I get into this commune? This sounds like heaven for a druid. All these trees, it's just so amazing. Living in touch with nature. Sign me up, Dmitri.
Sign me up, Dmitri. I love it. Love it. Sign me up, Dmitri.
Let's say you haven't gone. You've kind of stepped. You haven't gone right into the village at this point. You're sort of outside this rather large house, and Dmitri sort of leads you towards this house and says, "Let me help you unload the wine."
Of course, I'd be glad of your assistance. Thank you so much. And we unload the wine, I guess. Yeah,
he takes you. He opens up the door. And it turns out to be his house. He opens the door. Oh. This is where he lives. And he opens up a small opening to the wine cellar with stairs leading down into it. And he just helps unload the 3 barrels that you've got. While we don't have a tavern, my residence is where the locals come for a drink or two. And it's a pretty nice place. It's an incredibly nice house. It's modest, but it's clearly the largest from what you can see. Is there any other sort of information? It's got a wine cellar. In some of the journeys you notice around the sort of down one of the sides, there's plenty of space for like pig pens and chicken coops to sort of back the idea that, you know, maybe if he's growing some of these for food, then it's probably something that everyone in Krezk does. What you do, Morley, what you do notice, sort of way off at the back. You think you're not 100% sure, but you do see a couple of gravestones in his backyard, like way behind the house. It's getting quite dark. There's a couple of gravestones in behind his house.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
Probably not about to go. Who have you got buried in the backyard?
At least they're marked graves.
I'm just gonna take note of that for now.
Yeah.
Not really do anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, where would you, if there's any chance we could sleep in some sort of shelter, maybe a barn or something like that?
Look, Molly, you've impressed me with your love of Krezk. There are.
Love this guy. Holy shit. New favorite character. You've impressed me with your love of Krezk. Krezk's #1 fan.
That must be the spell doing it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure,
exactly. Yeah. You think I'm not taking that into consideration? It says, we do have a couple of spare rooms that you're all welcome to make use of.
Oh, Dmitri, how can I at least let me give you lodgings for the night? And I reach into my pocket and pull out a couple of gold pieces and press them into his hand. I've got no idea of the economy of this place. I don't know whether that's a lot or not. Or not.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's one gold piece.
Okay, one gold piece. We'll make it one gold piece. And he holds it and looks at it and he says, "This is more than you need to pay me, but it's welcome." While
you got change? I know it's more.
He just pockets it. He's like, this is more than I need. Thank you.
Gold piece in Krezk can mean huge things for the people here. Thank you, Morley.
Oh, it's on behalf of all of us. And one thing that we've learned through our travels through Barovia is that it's the children that need to have a better start in life. And we can only hope this gold piece will go some way towards education or safety for the children.
All right, nice. There's just sort of like a nice moment where the wine has been all offloaded, and Dmitri is closing up the entry to the wine cellar, and he goes to show you into his house, and what you hear at that point emanating out from the abbey is just some baleful mourning, some wails, and then some sort of inhuman laughter echoing out from the hilltop. And that's where we're going to stop it tonight.
Oh.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
It was that word baleful again.
It's a lot of baleful.
Sorry, Dmitri, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Didn't sit down on the TripAdvisor.
On. Yeah. No, we need to find out what this is.
We'll leave actually. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Did we need somewhere to stay? No, we're good.
No, I'm running into the woods immediately. I'm scared.
Someone in the chat said brown pants time. Thank you, Asnod.
Wow.
And thank you, Nerd Rock from the Sun. Great name, Nerd Rock from the Sun, for giving us a follow. Thank you so much. I told you I was going to enjoy tonight's session. I think there's a lot to enjoy out of everything there. Spider Girl Mara, thank you for the follow as well. I hope all of you guys enjoyed that, because as much as I enjoyed it, as well as you players.
Love getting to a new place. Love it.
Yeah, and the map is just so cool. It's always nice, just the view of a new map.
Do you think...
surely there will be no dark secrets contained in this idyllic town.
Yeah.
You know how you said it was all self-sustaining? Do you think for breakfast we'd be able to get some green powder, some brain octane oil, a collagen powder for my hair and nails, and some protein? And then I might just take a walk up to the Abbey while listening to some
only if
we...
Yeah, like if we've earned it, we can have breakfast.
Yeah, I feel like we've earned our breakfast.
I think you've earned it, for sure.
Tiny bit of porridge.
The tiniest.
Almond milk. Some shit.
Are there any cows here that we can admire for their beauty? Anyone who's just joined will be like, "What are they?
What are they talking about?" Yeah.
What
Don't
a
worry.
sesh.
We won't say.
That was quite satisfying. I quite like when we wrap up a mini arc and start on a new one. I quite like that.
Yeah, there was. I was wondering, I haven't given you guys many random encounters, right? Because random encounters, they kind of annoy me. They are rarely interesting. They usually slow things down, and you've just had you've either come from a big fight, in which case I just throw in another fight. I don't know. I want to find a way, and I'm sure someone's designed one, where I can throw in some random encounters that are just some dice rolls that we can go through. So I can be like, hey, you guys, at this point, wolves jump out, and now everyone roll a dice, and that dice lets us know what happens and how well we get through it. I would rather that kind of thing. Use it as flavor to set the scene for where you're venturing, other than be just a big session about battle.
Sounds like a modified skill challenge sort of mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The random encounters thing is tricky because, it's nice to get it used to full battle and stuff and, using your abilities and stuff. But if it doesn't serve a narrative purpose, it can just feel like padding.
Instantly, chat is like, fucking random encounters are good. Random encounters, someone's...
Oh, yeah? That's interesting. I thought viewers would be bored by that.
I'm using hyperbole. Fizz Cannon said, random encounters make the world seem alive and less railroaded. I agree. That's why I want to have something. I don't want to have nothing. I mentioned that there was hundreds of eyes watching you as you made your way through Old Svalich Road. What I originally was going to do was have another wolf encounter, but I was just like, man, that's just going to slow things down. You're never going to get to Krezk. So I don't know. I want to find some better way of doing that.
It can be good for getting people to hurry up.
Right.
If you know, if the players know, if you keep talking, I'm rolling, and it might come up as a random encounter.
Yeah, but the in the book, so someone else said, so Kimmer22 said, the random encounters in this campaign have logical reasons to be in there. The random encounters are at the front of the module that already exists in the module. So let me just... The wording, I've got the module. The wording for random encounters, I think, is terrible. Random encounter table, I've even bookmarked it. It says, check for a random encounter every 30 minutes that the adventurers spend in the wilderness. So it's theoretically, I should have checked twice for you guys on that thing. And that could have been, and then you just roll on the daytime or nighttime thing. But so theoretically, you could have come across 3d6 wolves, and then once you wrap that up, 30 minutes more of traveling, you could have had to fight 3d6 zombies. And I'm just like, that's fucking that's boring. That's boring.
Well, are a lot of them not monsters? Are they like NPCs?
There are no NPCs. There are some things which is you find a corpse. So that's so nothing. Yeah. And then it details what that means. You roll a dice to decide the nature of the corpse. So there's these kinds of random events. I don't mind random events, but what I don't
seem so significant.
What's that? Sorry, Joe?
Yeah, do they tie into the plot? I think sort of we had the same train of thought. Are they red herrings, or did they actually?
No, it's pure flavor. It's pure flavor.
All of these are pure flavor. Anything you come across, you tend to find it to be very significant, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to constantly be throwing red herrings at your players, and they'll be like, "Oh, what is the nature of this corpse?" And you're like, "It's just a corpse."
I guess if you set it up that way, it's a constant thing, then it gets people moving maybe faster. They're like, it's a corpse. But if we did it the way that we normally play, we go, what's up with this corpse? Why is it here?
You'll be like, you don't see anything. And we're like, can I roll investigation? And you'll be like, you don't see anything. And we're like, can I take the corpse and look at all its clothing? And you'll be like, you don't find anything in this clothing.
It's just a corpse. Let's go.
So I just put it in there because the book said to.
I don't mind utilizing this to add flavor, but I just want to get through the encounters quickly. To be not to gloss over something because it's not important, but there's so much good story in this module that And that we spend a lot of time really getting into things. Like, you know, we're quite thorough with stuff.
Especially playing online. Like, you only play a couple of hours a week or something. And then, you know, a big chunk could just be taken up by random stuff, but you don't know it's random. So.
Yeah, right. Well, it's interesting. So we've just got a bit more here as well. You could let the players spot the encounter rather than instantly being attacked by them, which is a fair point. So you could see it and then try to avoid it, I guess. It's also there to make the wilderness a dangerous place, in my opinion. Ravenloft Wilderness is a scary place. I don't disagree, but there's so, like, do you guys feel safe in Barovia? Is I guess the question. Like, it feels like a pretty shitty place, right? So do you need reminding that, like, it's a shitty place? I don't know. Maybe you do. And maybe there will be points where you do.
I can see arguments for either.
Yeah. I just, you know, we're like 42 episodes, sessions into Curse of Strahd. I've had reasons. I've actually made canon reasons as to why you haven't had a lot of random encounters. But that reason is going to have to change relatively soon.
Okay.
Or it might change relatively soon.
Bit of a tease.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tease. I just, like, Strahd controls the world. He is the ancient. He is the land. He controls everything, right? At the moment, he's been still kind of nice to you. Yeah? He's been relatively nice to you because he thinks you kind of understand him. He's invited you for dinner. He's
we can still be friends.
He hasn't actively harmed any of you. And
he charmed Loris.
That's not harming,
and he got Loris to bring him.
He's had his gloves on. He hasn't just tried to.
He does send like weird
outright
stuff like that.
He sends what?
But they were actually not after us.
They weren't after you.
Esmeralda.
You just happened to.
Yeah, but he knows everything. He knows where everyone is.
Well, he knew where Esmerelda was located, and he sent the werewolves to where she was located.
Could he make it summer?
Maybe, probably.
Deep.
Someone
Question of the week next week.
Kimmer said, I did give my players some loot and they do love combat. They don't prefer a roleplay heavy module, and this is. So I have to pepper in some combat. That I totally get.
Yeah.
I 100% get that. This would be a hard module for someone who just wants to roll dice and kill shit and hit hard. Like, really hard.
I think battle is actually really fun, but because we don't play for that long, I kind of don't want to spend like the limited amount of time on things that don't progress the story, especially when we know how huge it is. I don't want to have to spend like 4 years just to finish it.
Yeah.
Like, not that that's a bad way to play, but I just like the idea of moving through the story.
And there is a reason that a lot of D&D groups don't finish big campaigns. Because normally what happens, and this isn't a good or bad thing, I'm making no judgment here, but what normally happens is people start tying in their players' backstories more, and then they start bringing in more random encounters to make the world feel fuller and scarier, and then 2 years, 3 years pass, and people are like, we still haven't finished this thing? Like, yeah, it's interesting. It's not right or wrong.
They bring out a lot of books too.
Yeah, like
you can't. I couldn't keep up.
I bought Rime of the Frost Maiden. I have no idea when we're going to get to play that. If that's next, or if we are even going to, if people are still going to want to play after Curse of Strahd. I've got no idea. Kimmer says they played about 11 sessions and they've just left Village of Barovia. I think you guys left Barovia on the 5th or 6th episode, I think. But we do.
God.
Yeah, I don't know.
It felt so big as well. It felt like, there was plenty going on there, and then we left. And it's so crazy for such a small, compact map how big the story feels.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I bought the book and I sat down and I read it from cover to cover just so I could kind of get an understanding of the whole thing. I was so excited at some of the things that I was reading through. Just so excited. And you haven't come across a lot of those things yet. It's just
I thought you were going to say, and you've already ruined most of those.
Yeah.
That'll never happen.
The story beats in this book are just so cool. I love them, and I think everything is unveiling itself nicely. Joe, I'm glad you remembered your dream about Argynvost.
Yeah, I had written it down.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Argynvost and his undead knights?
Hopefully meet them.
Yeah, sounds like some potential allies. I've got this vision in my
Or
head.
enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I feel like
I don't know. Well, it says that they seem to want to rather than defeat Strahd, they want to keep him as a vampire, so his agony, his curse lasts forever. So if we want to kill Strahd, they'll be against us.
That is true.
Unless we have a real good persuasion roll.
Random Origins is just signing off. So thank you so much, Random, for being in a fantastic mod. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session.
Thank you.
See you, Random. Probably a good cue for a dance of some sort. Have we done a dance tonight?
Well, no one's subscribed. We only dance for the subscribes because we're monkeys. That's it. We're dancing.
Doesn't Random Origins we subscribe and then we do a dance?
He subscribed last week. He's fine. He's good. We can give him a dance if you want to give him a dance.
Yeah, fucking I will.
Just
I will
dance.
give it up. Yeah. Like a white dad. Yeah.
There's like Trump on the.
It was. Oh, it was.
I don't know what it looked like.
Okay,
I regret everything.
Kimmer also said, I will say this about the module. DMing this campaign is not as fun as the NPCs are pretty dour and they feel a bit bland as they're all complacent in their misery. Any advice on spicing them up? Have you guys found the NPCs dour and bland, or have I spiced them up to make them interesting?
Well, I think that I like playing like Dark Souls or something, and a lot of them are like dour, but I still think it's interesting and fun in its own way. I like the moroseness of it.
Linsky wasn't dour. He was a fucking maniac.
I have taken some pretty massive artistic freedom with a lot of the NPCs.
I think they're very varied.
Yeah,
like I mean,
or angry. It's not like angry or
like Ismark, right? He's not dour. He's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves a dump.
He hasn't had one for quite some time as well. Like
Depth of character. He'd be desperate to get to Krezk and use the John.
So Kimmer, so when I introduced Ismark, he basically said hello to everyone, and then when they wanted to chat about stuff without him around, he went for a shit. So he kind of has been known as the guy who just disappears for a crap every now and then, and I've incorporated that numerous times.
God, don't we all?
Yeah. Then we've got, I think, one of Morley's or Adam's favorite was where is he?
Oh my God, I know who this is going to be.
Well,
Yes.
we've got a couple. We've got Davian. I don't have them out there.
Yeah.
Davian is
The goddamn tree blights. Yeah. And then even Bildrath. You liked Bildrath at the time as well. With welcome,
at the time.
welcome to Bildraths. Welcome. Yeah. I've got Parry. Parry I've got plenty. I've got plenty of them there. I love doing. I love doing.
I like
these.
Vargas the most. I think
Vargas. What was his voice?
'Cause he's a
It was
personality.
something
now.
from the film Snatch. That's what I remember you saying.
Oh yeah.
Brad Pitt's Piper character. I think it was.
It's the Lapkeep said, what about the Lucky Guard? See, I used the same face.
Greg.
I used the same
Greg.
face. I used that same face again for the Krezk, but I used a different voice, and no one noticed that it was Greg.
Oh, the master of disguise. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like a Clark Kent kind of Superman.
I'm sure, Vargas. Vargas was great. I liked Vargas.
Do you know what has stuck with me for Vargas? All will be well.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Anyone who's ever DM'd Curse of Strahd would love that. That's what you took away from Vargas. That's awesome. That's super cool. So yeah, it really comes down to if you do it by the book and you use, if you look at the illustrations they have for the characters. Holy shit! Let me show you something. I'm going to show you guys what they suggested.
I'm going to quickly show you the end.
I'm just going to show you the end, guys. I'll show you what they reckon Dmitri looks like. And I'm like, no. Come on. That is definitely not. So this is Dmitri and his wife. Okay? Are you ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
Because this is bullshit. That's straight bullshit.
What?
Why?
No. I just don't.
What's wrong with that?
I just don't like. I looked at that and I'm just like, I just don't like anything about that. In regards to the style, they just look haunted. Like,
You reckon?
their white eyes and stuff like
I
that.
live in Barovia, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just.
Oh, I like
His
it.
wife is. Oh, so he's got a wife.
He does have a wife.
Oh, it's got a battle axe.
And she's got a stake, a wooden stake. So
Oh
she's
my God.
ready to drive that through a vampire's heart.
See, the other reason I don't like this image is it sets them up in ways that they shouldn't be set up because.
look
It
like-
feels like all the illustrations you've shown us is like characters brandishing extreme weapons. Like they're like in the middle of a battle for some reason.
Yeah, like it's really. I just don't like any of the imagery. I don't think I've used any of the imagery for the characters, other than Ismark, I think.
Kind of looks like Baron von Munchausen.
Oh, Milivoj.
Their
I used
outfits.
Milivoj. Lucian, I used. Strahd, I used obviously.
We know using Milivoj wasn't a mistake.
Was that
Davian,
seems
because
like
I've used a
that's
few.
a-
I've used a few.
It seems like the art style varies wildly.
It really
like
does.
these don't look
different
like the
artists.
same. They must not be done by the same people, but they don't have much continuity across the art
Yeah,
style.
exactly. That's
Weird.
exactly right. Kimmer also said they sort of look like tieflings. That's what they thought when they saw the artwork, and I agree. They also mentioned Rose and Thorn, the two kids from the Death House.
The deep house.
That's forever what it's going to be now. Because the
Named
image,
the former New Zealand Warriors player Jason Death. I think we all agree on that.
because again, just the art they use for them were just terrible. Let me show you this.
Please.
Oh. I think that's the same artist as the last picture you showed us.
Yeah, but it's like, if I'd shown you that, you wouldn't have trusted those kids at all.
Yeah, they look like demons.
Because I hadn't had a chance to incorporate the style of this book to you guys before. Like, these are the first people you meet. And you'd have gone, this is, I'm not going
We
to
kill
trust
them.
that.
Roll
So
for initiative.
yeah. So, I ended up giving Rose, I found a really good bit of art for Rose. Which is still
Those
pretty
children were
creepy.
heartbreaking. They were like, "Oh, Mister,
There's
my brother is."
There's a monster in my house. Which was fun.
That's it.
That was a lot of fun, that one. So, yeah, there's definitely things you can do to
And then
change
the
or move
Sixth
away.
Sense. Remember the kids? They weren't even there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Spoilers.
Yeah, because Ismark mentioned seeing you guys talking to nothing in the crossroads of Barovia at that time. Spooky. But yeah, I try not to use the art if it like instantly gives away their character. Like, there's been some I'm just like, well, this gives away their character way too much, just visually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like Arena and her tiny legs. We all know she's born with 3-inch legs.
What do you mean gives away their character? Like they look too evil or too...
Well, like I said, you wouldn't have
or
trusted those
something.
kids, right?
They definitely
not
do
evil.
look very off-putting.
They're not evil. They were created by the Death House to get you into the house to try and kill you. They are evil.
Oh, right. Are they?
Oh.
Although that version of the kids was, yeah. Not the ones
I don't
that
know,
were
I-
inside the house, the ghosts of the
I do
children.
like the art, though. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think also if everything you show, all the pictures look, evil,
But I mean, look, like,
and it turns out that some of them aren't.
Yeah.
It sets the tone of like everyone looks quite
then
like a vampire here.
but then they give you Ismark. Hello. And he doesn't look evil. So it's like instantly, right, here's like a trustworthy NPC. It's just like, I just didn't like it, man.
Right.
The weird thing about that drawing is like their skin looks like it's literally blue.
Yeah, exactly.
They were not presented as if they were meant to actually look. They were meant to look like just normal children.
Yeah.
But they is it just the shading?
It's just so
gloomy. But why are they like literally blue?
Yes, it's just the art style.
You're like, oh, yep, they're ghosts.
Yeah. And I didn't like Isaac either. Do I have Isaac? I should have Isaac. I think I may have shown you guys Isaac before, but handout. Here we go. Show to players. This was Isaac, which again,
he's all blue as well.
Yeah. Complete, and look at that big monstrous hand on top of this thing. It's just like, well,
We did have a big monstrous hand.
he did have that. He did. But I just wanted to humanize him a bit more, I think. But although I don't even know if I ended up showing you the face I picked for him. Because he never spoke, right? I don't think you guys ever hear him.
Didn't get a chance.
I don't remember.
Fucked him up.
Yeah, I had to imagine what he looked like, but
Oh, yeah. And
I didn't imagine he looked like that.
Someone made a very good point. Lady Veshta's image literally has a spoiler on it.
Oh.
I don't mean she's got like a spoiler like a car has, but there's like...
No, get these robots out of my D&D.
So this is who I ended up going with for Lady Veshta.
Yeah.
That wasn't her voice, I don't think.
Great hair.
But I can't show you the image because there's a spoiler on it.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god.
Does it say Strahd like... She's wearing a t-shirt. Strahd my bitch because I know where the holy water is. It's at this address.
So yeah, I tend not to really stick too much with the book. I'm just like, what kind of character would I want to put here, and sort of to have a little look at what the book suggests, and then make some. Like, there's no way that whoever wrote this module thought friggin' Dmitri was going to be all. Welcome to my village. Like no one at Wizards of the Coast thought someone was going to do that,
isn't he? It's quite extra.
yeah, he's quite extra.
I bet he's got an Instagram.
I want to know what the spoiler is on Lady Veshta.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm haunted by the fact we never investigated the room.
Maybe you've killed Lady Veshta, like.
No.
We sure have.
Well, I didn't do nothing.
I don't like. This is probably going to mean nothing to you. I'll show you. It's not going to mean anything to you, but because you're never going to go down this storyline now.
No, I hate that. FOMO.
But it's not going to mean anything to
What?
you.
I want that. I'm going back to Vallaki immediately.
Oh, she's got a demon elemental.
yeah, so like a familiar or something. It's got like a scorpion tail.
I want to go back
And the
there.
face of a dragon and the wings of a dragon.
But yeah, let me just pull her face up while I talk to you guys.
That's really dumb.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I wonder if she's good or.
That's the same artist
power.
as well.
It looks like
What's
it's
the-
two artists, I think.
Did we orphan a baby dragon?
You'll never know. You'll never know.
Until we come across a starved baby dragon on the road.
Fizz Cannon, thanks for following us as well. Thank you for that. So yeah, it's interesting. There's definitely things you can do with the NPCs to make it less dour. There's a sort of a. Well, I don't want to get into. No, I won't get into spoilers. There's things you can do to make them more interesting, I guess.
I don't know. I guess it's okay for the NPCs to be dour if the players can still have fun with it, you know.
And yeah, there's been plenty of like the Vistani women at the bar in Barovia were pretty cold towards you guys. There was, I don't know, not a lot of happy folk in Vallaki. But yeah, all right. Adam's got to get going, as the message that everyone just saw pop up on the stream.
Everyone saw that.
Literally everyone. That's fine. That's good. But that's good. It's a good It's like
Oh, I
it's
thought
like
it was just
playing.
you guys.
It's like playing us off at the awards or something like that. So it's fine. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for playing tonight. You guys have done. That was awesome. That was really cool. Great session. I loved it. Thank you to everybody for coming and watching, and thank you again to Brizzy Voices for bringing some new people in to watch us tonight. Hugely appreciative of that. So we'll be oh man. Okay, that's good.
That's supposed to be oh, shit. Okay, bye-bye.
Check our stuff up on YouTube if you want to get up to date with our previous stuff or anywhere that you can get podcasts. Join us in our Discord. Random Origins has disappeared, so I'll just chuck the Discord link up for anyone there. Buy one of our shirts because they're super cool and designed by part of our crew. And also, don't forget, we've got a Patreon as well. There is a tier for anyone who just wants to give whatever they want, but there's also a $4 tier where you can make sure you get the latest episode on YouTube before everybody else. I'm going to sign off for all of these children.
Fucking hell.
That I've got.
Savage.
All right. And we'll be back at the same time. What a cool car. Same time next time, everybody. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Goodbye.